Ah. It is a fan. It's attached to the heater, so yeah.
That's okay. We do have a problem with a lot of the Skype people accidentally putting the heater fan or the aircon fan between them and the mic. Yeah. And then the mic starts picking up this whoosh, 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 whoosh. It's like, what's that noise? Or it just sounds like they're in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, when you said I was getting feedback the other day, I was like, oh, that's weird, because I hadn't turned it up anymore, but I turned it down literally one volume on my iPad, and you said it went away, so I was like...
Well, on my dice camera, if I leave it on auto, the setting is on causes it to flicker. I take it off auto, and it's no longer flickering, but it brightens up a hell of a lot more, and I have to slow down the refresh.
Fair enough.
So, but it does see the dice fairly nicely on there. But because it's got the light on there, it causes it to strobe. Because of the crappy on camera. So,
how's that? Is that better?
That's pretty good.
Nice.
So, we're up to session number 41. And discussing the technical difficulties of connecting via remote access.
I think the technical difficulties of being Pathfinders, but anyway, moving on.
That's another issue. It's only technically difficult.
Yes. It's only difficult for some people. Depends on how many times they've died.
Well, I mean, none of us have died here, so we're good.
And death is not the end.
No.
That's the amusing part. You can be killed multiple times.
Because I'm smart like that.
So, we'll introduce people at the table first. We'll start off with Stefan, because M's drinking.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, I saw that sneaky, quick, they're gonna announce.
Quick, he's gonna introduce characters.
Everyone drink.
Well, sometimes
Okay.
I see they're about to do it, and then I'll start.
Hello, I'm playing the Green Dervish, seeing as we're not in Digby Bob right now, whatever it's called.
We actually are back at Real Core.
Are we?
Yes.
I thought we're the other place though.
We-
No, you travel a lot.
Okay, well then
I
I'm the
think
Green
we're-
Arrow.
I think we were getting ready to leave.
Oh, because of the boat.
Yes.
Okay.
And then somebody went to the church.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Willie got dragged into the church, and then Quest came back saying, Willie's at the church, and he's been taken in with the shield that was blessed by this person, and Parry's like,
No.
fuck, off I go.
He's been knocked out and dragged into the church. Pretty sure.
Right.
But yes, many things happening, fun times.
And there were sure many Gerald moments when you came back and went, crap.
Yes.
Peter, you should have just said no means no, okay?
Oh, trust me. That's what I'm going to be saying.
So, what's your safe word? No. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't recognize that one.
No. Pineapple.
It wasn't like cucumber or something.
It's funny, Peter, because you're unconscious. It's too late now.
Then we have Morgan.
I play Quest, Golden Bard, Savior of the Party. Sort of. No, I definitely saved the party. I remember that clearly. It doesn't say anything different.
On at least one
Anyone's
occasion.
gonna read it.
I'm sure what's her face will.
Oh yeah, none of you guys though.
No. Dooz's was a list of dot points, like this happened, and
That's right.
Semi-competent Pathfinder.
so you are the bar.
Semi-competent.
You think work's good?
If you were the worst Pathfinder of the group, there'd be a problem.
You guys just got insulted.
Then we have Josh. I was going to say your character name, and I was like, no, that's the character name, not the plan.
Hi, I'm playing Parry.
I'm pretty sure you answer anyway.
He would.
Oh, I would. Hi, my name is Perry. I'm playing Josh.
The buffest wizard known to man.
Yes. So I'm playing Perry Hopper, the buffest wizard known to man. Also known in the local region as Perry Hopper. Also known as the paternity test line.
Well,
So
you,
we're back there
you
now.
can simply say if there's no dwarf in the DNA, it's obviously not you.
Yeah, that's gonna confuse a lot of people.
And Perry's in a lot of trouble.
Not yet.
Not yet, but
Working on it.
soon to be. It is
Getting there.
getting there.
And then we have M.
Hello, I'm playing Rizzo, the actual buffest person in this party.
What's going on?
Flex as well. By Gorm.
Wrong game.
No, I actually follow Gorm.
So she follows a god who doesn't have a temple in the region.
Still, by Gorm.
So she's the only known practitioner of Gorm in the area.
High priestess of course.
And I have Puppy as well,
And Puppy's kill count is growing.
Yes? No, he took a foot last time, so I'm not sure if that entirely counts.
To him it counts. He died after he ripped the foot off.
Fair enough.
Yeah, ask him any different.
He'll probably just reward me.
Give me tree. Oh wait, that's troll.
Yep. That's that green thing over there. That's why you...
Kroll is his tree friend.
Green's tree.
And yes,
It's the most
we are
fluorescent
back
flower
in...
name ever.
We're back in Runelords, where I have some unfinished business with a certain crime lord here, but anyway.
I'm sure a lot of you have unfinished business with various things here.
Yeah, too bad.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're only going, what, like a day's trip down the coast? We're just going to the coast, guys!
The fact that you're already on the coast doesn't.
No, that doesn't matter at all.
And
it's,
on.
it's the non-stabby coast.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
It's the
actually.
only settlement that's associated with Riddleport.
I could probably do a knowledge history roll and fail it. That would be hilarious.
It was settled by people from
Oh
Riddleport.
yeah. Yeah, do this
And I'm using the word people loosely.
Surprised you used the
We're
word
in
settled.
Tahiti.
People who are either being stabbed in Runelords. That's why they left.
Or people who were sent away because they were stabbing too many people in Riddleport. You don't know yet.
Oh, right. Australia.
It might be the Australian version of Riddleport. You know, it's the Tasmania of Riddleport.
Full of inbred shit, is it?
Oh,
Oh,
it's a
wait, no,
society.
I shouldn't say that.
You're from there too.
Society. I have
Technically, I
plus
own
6.
land there. There's a
So
difference.
10.
And from there.
10.
And you're
It's
from
gonna be a
Riddleport
great
too.
holiday.
We're in Tahiti.
Apparently I'm from all over.
Well, your direct ancestors from Riddleport. He still owns his tower. And online today we have Peter.
Yes, I'm playing Low Blow, otherwise known as Lord Willy-Won Kenobi. I'm currently being held by the Church of Callistria, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Unlawfully and with greater forethought.
What's the laws of Riddleport? Have they actually broken any? Probably not.
Well,
Wait,
assault,
was it
assault, theft, kidnapping, possibly murder, depending on how this next session goes.
Well-
You're currently unconscious, so...
Considering it's run by crime bosses, and you've just been, you're on the steps of one of the crime bosses' businesses, and they're the law of the land.
It's good to know that might makes right. I just need to become more mighty, and
It
then
does
everything is
involve-
right.
That is true. So you are currently held by Sharafa Pamade, who is the head of the Church of Callistria in the House of the Silken Veil. So you want to know exactly where you are? That's where you are.
Yep.
Okay, so last session we had you returning to Magnamar with the bodies you had rescued from Thistletop. I'm saying bodies in the loose term because they were torture victims.
Well, at least they're in the right place now to become slightly less tortured souls.
They were animated legitimately, legally.
Not touched in bad ways.
I mean, it's maybe pushing it.
And we were, you had a bit of a word with the head of the Pathfinder Lodge there, where they asked you a lot of questions about doing Pathfinder things while you're at Thistletop.
Which not many of us, kind of actually did.
So you did the moral thing, but you didn't do the Pathfinder thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't always work together, and sometimes they do. So a demon was let loose, and they've sent you on to Riddleport instead, where you're going to go off and investigate shenanigans at Roderic's Cove.
I also love the backhanded comments like, oh, this is another probably more well-trained Pathfinder group to the same area. And look what happens!
Might not be Wednesday's group, she does have another group. And that other group is the people who are in the third house of S03 set of bugs.
So plan C.
And they are Team A.
That's not appearing in this movie.
I know you've seen a couple of them. They are the people who instruct you when you're actually taking downtime at the Pathfinder Lodge in Magnamon. So the instructors are Team A.
That's hilarious.
Which is the reason why they're Team A.
It's one big team, is he?
Well,
I feel hopeful here.
Team Q because we're never getting used to it.
I was gonna say Z, but you know what? Maybe
Z.
I'll just be optimistic.
Team NA.
Wait, we're a team?
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently we're winning that competition.
and so you travelled back to Riddleport, where you ran into the daughter of Sol, who also happened to be the brother of Auric, who you killed in Thistletop, and were carrying around his gear with.
Well, one item. If
Prominently.
someone really wanted to show off.
And
Wait, buddy, come on!
also happened to be the son of the guy you were working for in Riddleport. At which point you then went off to sell the item and went to the church to have it identified by the person who had
That's
enchanted
right.
it.
I knew we did something dumb.
No. We didn't. Let's just make that clear.
We did
here.
something very Willy-like,
It
okay?
was the maker of good
Hey.
Maker of good life choices, yes.
Whoever that may be, I don't know.
Well, they could tell you exactly what enchantment was on it because they'd done it.
Seems like the cheapest option.
And then Willie's like, I've made a mistake.
Okay, and so we'll pick up from where we left off there with Willie getting taken in unconscious, Quest showing up, and Parry taking off.
That's right, yeah. Parry walking towards the church.
So we have the three of you sitting in the Golden Goblin.
We probably would have started to follow Parry.
And perception roll for the three of you to see if you'd noticed Parry had actually left. Because he told no one.
Yeah,
I
I thought
told
we
you to go
agreed
on.
not to go.
Am I doing a stealth?
No, you walked out while they were discussing things.
Okay.
There are more than one exit to the building.
11. I don't care.
Quest watches Perry leave, jumps up on the table, says,
Who wants to play cards?
Well, to be fair, you were talking to me and you watched me walk past you. If you didn't see me, I was very concerned.
I don't think he cares.
17?
No, you didn't really notice.
We were too busy worrying about Poppy.
And listening to Quest talk all about what happened to Willie. And how you decided you'd wait it out.
Bye, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
So you guys sit down and have a nice game of cards before anyone notices that Parry hasn't shown up. But then again, would you notice?
He's probably off at some brothel somewhere.
Hey, that is the church.
How dare you say the church is a brothel? How dare you?
This is Juicy you're talking about.
It's actually identified as a brothel first and entry at secondary.
Yeah, so Juice is technically correct. There.
It's a otehr.
Okay, so Parry, you rock up to the house of Silkenveil. Yeah, no S, Silkenveil. Vale. Actually, getting the pronunciations right doesn't always work out well sometimes when I'm not paying attention. So you rock up and you're let in, and I think that might be food arriving. So I'll pause this for the moment.
Two completely different things.
And we're back after getting food.
I'm not.
No!
And nice food that is too. Though unsure if we'll get the same driver again.
If you next meet up, no, not you, someone else.
No, I want the guy who actually. I want that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, did you forget the receipt? Perfect.
I don't think you'll make that mistake twice because it usually comes out of the cellar.
Depends on the place. Depends how many times it's happened as well.
Well, it's normally done that way to stop them making a mistake more than once.
Yeah. Well, normally if that's his first mistake, they'll be like, alright, we'll eat the cost of the restaurant. And that's the first
That's wage.
Pardon?
That's wage.
Set of places much closer.
But it doesn't mean that you don't hear them do that.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of them are international. I don't know relations.
Even if they did, it wouldn't help because the small places don't recognise the union. And if the union does, take them to court, that shuts down and then they're out of a job anyway.
Back to the game.
Back to the game.
Before we get
So-
political.
Okay, so we're having Parry show up and see the church.
Hang on, Martin.
Yep.
The ID for the session is for Wednesday, so it's got in person, Mark, Skype,
There we go.
Annie, David, Jeremy.
One of
Awesome.
one of those days where I click on the wrong thing because my braining.
Cool.
And yet I have done that before on multiple games where I've clicked on the wrong one.
Well, I mean, we had, how many weeks of the Friday D&D saying Wednesday?
Mhm.
None of us noticed.
I mean, we're also busy in the game.
Well, most people don't look at the video afterwards because you had fun in the game.
No, but even the Facebook pictures where you said this is what's happening today had it, and none of us noticed still.
Yep. It was over a year for that. That was funny. Okay, so back to the thing of Parry showing up and seeing the priestesses. There is a tiefling at the door. She's got really captivating purple eyes. You recognize her as Lavender Lil, one of the best bards of Runelords.
So not the best bard that we've seen before.
Basically, this one is probably the one that is most sought over for private performances.
Not those kinds of performances, Harry.
Yes, those kinds of performances.
Hello. I'm pretty sure there may be a traveler here by the name of Willie.
There are many Willies here, she says.
No, but his name's Willie.
That's what they say. You should see our ledger, it's full of Willies.
Everyone calls himself Willie when they visit.
That's also their purpose to visit.
dark, handsome, brooding, kind of unconscious.
You'd be surprised how many women sign themselves in as Willie.
Do you mind if I come in?
That's what people usually do.
I'm just going to the door.
So, who do you need to service you today?
No service at the moment. I'm just looking.
Well, isn't that what you just come for? You said you wanted to come in.
I'm looking for one of my companions who I travel with.
Well, that doesn't sound like you've come to the right place.
Well, I hate to disagree with you on that one, but they are definitely in here.
Would you like to describe your entertainment then?
Describe my entertainment.
Because we do doubles and triples and groups.
As I said, tall, dark, handsome, kind of unconscious.
Yeah.
That probably describes half her clientele as well.
No.
That's what makes it funny.
Clientele came in. Big shield on the back.
That describes about 5 people tonight.
Good. One that was dragged in by force.
That describes 2 of them tonight.
Getting close. One who still has bandages on their hands from their broken hands.
Oh, that guy.
Hey.
You just said the broken one.
Ouch. Gonna add that to your list of titles.
He's not particularly handy at the moment.
No, I wouldn't believe that he is ever handy.
Though he's a disciple of one of the local monks. Do you remember which one he is?
The teacher or the idiot who's been dragged inside?
Well, I'm aiming to see if you know who the teacher is.
Drunk punch.
Yes, that would be it.
Yeah.
Not everyone remembers his name.
No,
But
what-
he is the current reigning drunk punch.
Yes.
Whoever is, head of the style takes the name.
I can assure you, the person who's being dragged there is trying really hard.
Well, she's currently in seeing the mistress of the house. I'm sure we can wait until they're finished.
No.
So you want to interrupt the mistress?
Yes.
Oh well, your funeral.
Beautiful.
So
As long as I die here, I will be happy.
we pay extra for that.
You pay extra.
Well, if we get to sacrifice someone here so they die happy. Don't you know the sort of kudos you get for sacrifice?
Alright. I'm gonna wandering.
And plus, we also get to sell the meat for to the kobolds later on.
Of course you do.
Happy meat is notoriously hard to come by in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going on with this whole sort of discussion with you all the way into the temple.
Yeah.
At which point she tells you to sit there while she goes and speaks to the mistress.
Mm-hmm. I sit and wait.
A few minutes later, the mistress of the house comes out and looks at you and says, "So, Parry, I hear you're wanting to die happy?"
Not quite. I've come to find the idiot with 2 broken hands.
Oh, him. We're currently resetting his hands right now.
Ah. That's good.
Looks like it's been done many times.
Yes.
Whoever's been doing it lately should be getting a volume discount.
I will let the person know about that one. And as you can tell, the person who you're trying to fix his hands is trying really hard at being his master. Not quite succeeding at this stage, but trying really hard.
Well, at least he's unconscious at the moment.
That surprises me.
Well, it makes it easier to reset their hands. Do you really want to wake someone up and have them scream at you while you break their bones? Do we charge extra for that?
I was about to say, it depends on the situation.
So he should be ready in about an hour or two.
An hour or two. And the shield he was carrying?
Well, that's been looked into by some of the priests right now.
Why is it being looked into?
Well, because he was carrying a shield of a friend of the church that the church had enchanted. So I was just checking into who had actually killed the bearer of the shield.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm here.
You wish to help them find the killer of the previous owner?
Yes!
Sure. And what skills do you have in divination?
Divination? None.
That makes it very hard to hope.
Ooh, no it doesn't.
You know, you cypher mages have a really weird sense of humor.
Yes, we do.
This is when you say, cipher me this. I did it.
Riddle me this. I am the murderer.
I'm close and personal.
There's no one else around.
Oh no, there you can see Lavender Low in the background. And a couple of other guards here and there.
Yeah, just say.
It was me!
Yeah. There's no need to look any further. I am the culprit there.
Well, we always do a complete divination.
Okay. You can absolutely take your time, but that's the reason why I'm here.
Okay. In which case, we have a nice little room for you to wait in.
Beautiful.
Likes that.
Yes.
Find the fluffy room.
So you have a nice room, plain white walls, nice soft bed.
Padding everywhere.
I'll just sit on the bed cross-legged.
Mm-hmm.
It's too comfy, don't like.
Well, there's no suffering involved.
I'm sure Perry has his own imagination for that.
Okay, Peter, your character wakes up about an hour later.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, your hands are all are both splintered up.
Again.
Yep. Even the unbroken one is splintered.
Uh-huh.
What if it was bilateral? What did you both?
He only did one this time.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He broke another one.
But they saw that it hadn't set properly, so they rebroke it.
At least a third.
And you.
It was kind of a rush shot last time, so.
It was.
I mean, if he's going to keep doing it, might do it properly.
All for punching jumps.
And you do notice you've got metal bits sticking out of all your fingers.
Ooh, external fixation.
Uh-huh.
Lovely.
We're not punching anyone anytime soon.
And sitting in front of you is the most delicious meal you've ever seen.
Hmm.
And you can't eat it.
Come on, use your feet. Show us that flexibility.
So, what room am I in? Who's around me?
Looking around you, there is about 3 priestesses and a priest.
Okay.
They are cleaning your clothing with magic.
Uh-huh.
Which you're currently not wearing, by the way.
I'm not shy.
Neither are they.
Awesome.
As a bad touched you into the church. That's definitely not shy.
So one of them looks at you and says, "Oh, you're awake. Do you need anything?"
My freedom, my shield, and a way out of here.
Okay. So, we can give you your freedom right now if you like.
So you're stealing from me.
Well, let's see. Did you purchase the shield?
Ownership is 9/10 of the law.
Well, we got someone who says that they actually own it right now. So does that mean they own the
So
shield?
who is that?
The High Priestess.
Okay, so she's a thieving liar. That's all. It's good to know. Okay. Well, where's the door out?
They point.
Okay, I get up and I walk out.
Okay, so it's a bit cold as you walk out.
That's okay.
I was about to say.
That's okay.
And you walk past the door, seeing Parry sitting on a bed behind a shut door.
I stop and I just think, fuck me. For wizards are supposed to be smart. How can he be this fucking stupid? And I open the door if I can.
You have a hard time. Your hands don't seem to work that well.
Well, unless it's locked, and it's depending on the type of handle it is. I'm sure I can use
It has one of those
forearm.
turning handles.
Oh, that is mean.
It's got one of the what?
Turning handles.
I put one forearm on top, one forearm on the other, on the bottom. Squeeze between the two, and
Give me an acrobatics check. You should be great at this.
it should be at least reasonable. Acrobatics. A natural 20. What a way to loop to waste a 20.
You flex and open the door.
Yep. I want to do it with a flourish.
Producer in the back of your mind going, "Good job, buddy."
Yeah, whatever.
And yes, you see Willie in all his glory.
When I hired a room, I wasn't expecting this.
No one expects Willie.
That's what
And from the background, you hear, "Hey, that's my name. Hey, that's my name. Hey, that's my name."
No one expects Willie squared. I'm seeing Willie and Willie's Willie.
Willyception?
Don't like this.
It's only when Willie's in Willie.
What are you doing here?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I'm here to tie up loose ends.
Uh-huh.
And you hear a thing in the background, "Hey, that's my name."
Okay. All right. I walk in to the room.
Yep.
Take a seat next to Parry.
Yep.
And say, "So, how you doing?"
Nice pick-up line.
How you doing?
Should I make that a charm roll?
And I wait with Parry in the room.
Was that a performance?
Oh no, it can be a charm.
Is there a charm?
Persuasion, probably, yes. I too many different systems.
There's no persuasion.
Yeah,
It'd be
I think it's diplomacy.
diplomacy.
Which is the same thing because it's supposed to increase your.
Friendliness with
That's
others.
the one. Status.
Yeah, because he uses charisma as a. Anyway.
So are we actually gambling?
Yeah, we're all back at the Golden Goblin, and we've only just noticed.
Gambling, I mean.
I've got 5 sixes.
We're rolling for gambling, are we? Okay. What's that? Acrobatics?
I think they're doing deception dice.
Deception, okay.
Deception dice.
Decepticons.
They're not actually rolling deception. They're rolling. You're rolling 6 dice and 5 dice or whatever it is, and seeing what you get.
No, I'm rolling deception.
Deception. Okay.
Dooza believes you.
So roll deception, do we? Natural 20.
So Kroll cleans
23.
up.
Still calls your bluff.
And also puts in a little bit in there about no one's paid for healing recently,
Yeah, I know.
and you each lose a little bit extra coin.
We've rolled 2 natural 20s, 1 on a door,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
1 on gambling.
Don't worry, when it comes to combat, I'm sure you won't see any of those anyway.
No, there'll be a lot of natural ones.
At least I've been
Yep.
rolling my 2 low rolls on stuff that don't matter tonight.
Yeah.
My dice are still trying to kill me, by the way, because I've had a 4 and a 2.
Okay. So yes.
Getting worse.
Yes.
So Kroll managed to clean both of you out.
Yep.
There's a dice jail somewhere.
There is in front of Parry. I think M needs it.
My seriously, I had 5 d20s lined up on my bedside table last week.
You might actually have to make M one personally
Yeah.
for when she can't make the game.
Yeah.
Is there between what, an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yep.
So at least one of them should be back by now.
Probably.
Are you sure about that?
With 2 pair. Yeah, do we want to go check on them or just leave them to their fate?
Well, considering you've run out of money,
What are we gambling clothes now? Or something?
pro-
Food
pro-
rations.
Song.
Food rations.
well, probably guard duty and all that sort of stuff. So Kroll doesn't have to do any.
Years of service.
That's bad.
No, should we go check up on them or?
So is Kroll gambling to see how much he has to give back or how much service they take over from him? So he never has to go on guard duty again?
No, I think he's gonna stick with his winning. So he's done for now.
Speak clever.
Yeah.
So Kroll set out with all your winnings. So apparently you're playing against Quest to see who's going to do guard duty.
What did you get?
I have 2 pair. Tell you what, a full boat beats it.
You've got a poppy.
I'll tell you what, she's got about 9 high. That's about it.
It just says something random. No one's explained this gambling game.
7 fours.
Yeah, it's 7 fours.
So he says I've got 2 pair. She says I've got blackjack. Yeah, I don't have pockets.
So yes,
Probably blackjack 21.
you hear closing time from the casino as people are starting to leave. It gets rather quiet very quickly.
You still going at it.
We've got nothing better to do. Dudes believes you're at a brothel, which is not surprising at all. And Quest is just like, should we check on them? Just is like, yeah, no, I don't need any more mental scarring.
Okay, so morning rocks up rather early on you guys. Yep, you've been gambling and talking all night as the light of the sun comes through, and they still haven't shown up.
We need to catch that bird soon.
Well, the birds at lunch, isn't
Yeah, but if they're busy all night, something's going on.
Alright, well maybe they have to stay here while we go have fun at the other place.
Do we know roughly how many hours until?
They go at midday.
I had
So-
the best night's sleep with Willie.
So we've got like what, 6 hours? If it's just on daybreak?
it? Something like that.
5 hours?
I think it's half an hour. Is it half an hour from the gold to the dogs, or an hour?
About half an hour.
Are we on the tilt or is it on? Does time work the same way?
You are further away from the equator than you were at Absol, and it is winter period.
So late though.
Yep.
Probably.
You probably got about 4 hours till.
We should probably eat breakfast and go check on them.
Suppose so.
Okay, so you have a surprise meat of the day for breakfast.
I'm not eating meat, I'm vegetarian for
You also have surprise vegetable of the day.
What do you think is
I'm just
vegetable?
gonna starve myself.
They do call it vegetable. They don't actually say what plant it came from or if the plant objective.
activity, right?
Yeah.
Do's are like hands you some like rations that he normally gives the puppy.
Yes, enjoy your dog food.
Yeah, sorry, we couldn't go for a shop before
It's
we
fine.
came.
I'll pick up something on the way back or
I
something.
mean,
The street vendor sells fresh food.
I've got hardtack,
It's
but
got
you have to
good.
soak
Oh,
it in
never mind,
beer.
it's real
There's no
good.
clean water.
They have to get their food from somewhere.
The finest delicacies of True.
Okay, so Kroll skips food
Yeah.
as the rest of you have a nice meal. You did try to give him some rations, but Puppy intercepted.
No surprise.
That's fair.
Puppy was happy to share, but Kroll didn't want it after that.
Puppy's like, I chewed it for you.
I think Crow's gonna try and make some bread in future.
Hardtack. It's only been in my pack for like a year and a half.
That's cement attack.
It's okay. It's as good as it was when you bought it. That stuff
Oh,
never goes off.
Found. It's in somebody else's pack at one point. Hardtack.
Look at that.
I didn't buy it.
Well, they're still beating heart upstairs.
That's Willie's to it. Well, I mean, assuming Willie comes back, that's Willie's to eat.
Oh, that's right. Willie's still trying to.
Except it's Kroll's item, I believe.
What is?
The beating heart?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you head off to the church, do you, or do you just wait and see what happens?
We should probably go.
I mean, like every time we've gone to a brothel, they've literally been like walking out the door when we've been
But
worried
that's
about
good.
them.
If we just bring all their stuff with us and get there and they're coming out the door, then we'll head to the dogs.
Okay, you take all the stuff, head up there, and as you're getting up there, you see a few kobolds pulling a cart heading away from the temple.
Is our friend on the card?
Well, it's covered.
It's covered.
Can
I'm
we
not
all-
checking.
Can we see what you got today?
It's not prepared yet, they say.
I just want to see the faces. I
Wouldn't
like the
want to
faces.
spoil things. Wait, you want to see the faces of what you eat? He smiles and brightens.
Yeah.
I can charge for this.
Yes.
I think Peter will be back in a moment, hopefully. Just saying we have a poor network connection. Hopefully it doesn't drop out completely.
Yes. That's copper.
That'll do. He shows you the face of the person. Person has eyes open wide, face looking in complete shock and happiness at the same time. Don't recognize the person.
No.
But they are extremely excited still.
There's gonna be some good eating tomorrow.
Do you want to reserve a spot?
We're gonna be back tomorrow.
Unsure.
I don't think I'm going to be in town.
Well, I can, make sure I've got a choice piece left for you. It's good for a couple of days.
Oh, there it goes.
You know what? How about I give him another copper? You reserve it for yourself and you eat it.
Hopefully he's not too far out. It might just be bad connections.
Nope. Peter is not online.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure he'll poke me when he gets back online.
Probably.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, so yes, he takes your extra copper, pats you on the arm, and says, "I'm so sorry. It looked like it was going to be nice tender meat."
Well, have to tell you what it was like.
Sure. And where do I find you?
Oh, I'll find you.
Okay. You seem to be the only goblin left in town.
Hmm?
You seem to be the only goblin left in town.
I'm just back in.
You're back in.
Oh, I left.
Where did you go with the others?
I showed up before them.
Do you know why they left? No one knows why they left. Do you know why they left?
They were called.
They were called.
Yeah. Called Goblin.
Aren't you called a goblin?
Yes. They were called Goblins, I have to go.
So you have to go too?
Well, I did go. Now I'm back.
But are you going again?
Nah. Well, yeah. Different go.
Different go.
Different go.
Different go.
I'll be back again later. Eventually. Maybe.
He looks confused.
Yep.
Scratches his head a bit.
That's a little bit everyone gets when they talk to me.
He goes, okay, so called goblin, goblin must go. I have to remember that one. Can get free goblin rooms.
Definitely a thing to try.
He shall try it next time he sees a goblin.
Hey. You hear people talk, right?
I hear you talk right now.
You hear other people talk. And they don't talk to you, they just talk and you're around and you hear.
I have ears.
Cool.
You not hear people talk? Do you just lip read?
Pardon?
He says you just lip read. Do you not hear people talk?
Oh, I hear people talk, but only when I'm listening. But
You don't listen.
I listen sometimes. Can I get you to just like keep listening?
I always listen.
When you hear things,
Danger comes if you listen. You get squished if you don't listen.
right, danger comes if you don't listen anyway.
No, danger come anyway.
Yes.
But you get squished if you don't listen. But if you listen, you hear danger coming and get out of danger way.
Hey. Look, keep an ear out. 'Cause
Uh,
I've got things I need information.
It sort of looks really startled by that. I let my ear in as it is, because he's got no externally. He's just got the
Oh, he's got in his doesn't.
yeah. Don't keep my ears in, thank you.
Alright, well, keep your ears in. And I've got questions. And I'm going to come ask you questions.
Isn't that your name? So you've got more of you. I'm supposed to.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to sell more of you.
No, but I'm going to come and buy more of me.
Buy more of you. Okay.
There's money in it.
We
There's
don't have more goblins though.
It's fine. There's more money
Yeah.
if you have information and you tell me information when I ask.
I know lots of things.
Good. Keep learning more things.
What's learning?
Yes.
Your first task.
First task, find book. Second task, cookbook. Third task, serve book on plate.
Could do that.
Alright, good chat. We gotta go.
Same time next week.
Bye, goblin.
Gotta go. Bye.
He just waves. He's just trying to see where you disappear to.
He tries to what?
See where you disappear to, because you know goblins all disappear.
Not disappear into the temple.
He shrugs and takes the cart and goes off. And you're so glad
You've
you
hired A+ spy right there.
That's perfect. No one's gonna think he's a spy.
and everyone uses his services. Well, most people use his services.
He's probably taken 5 steps and forgotten what you were asking him.
Good. Means you can't tell anyone what I was asking.
Okay, so getting into the temple, you see there is a tiefling near the door saying, "Oh, hello, little question." I'm sorry, little.
That's not the name I hate.
You hate question, don't you?
Yes.
That's why I called you little.
Oh, well, thank you.
You mean you wanted me to actually just call you question instead?
Well, I was just doing things I just like.
If you'd rather me do that instead, we can pay for it.
And so people will prefer it.
Well, that's their bad luck. But if you want me to do it, you're gonna have to pay me. I'm not here to give people a good time. Unless they pay me.
Does that mean you're only here to give people a bad time if they don't pay you?
I don't give them any sort of time unless they pay me.
Does that mean I owe you money? You're giving me the time.
Yes. I see you're the smartest goblin I've met so far.
Yeah, well, it's a low bar.
Yes.
I've met some smart goblins in my time.
So how much do I owe?
Well, how much do you want to walk?
Alright, big answer. Let's head on in.
Okay, you walk in and you see Quest sweating for the first time. You've actually seen Quest sweating. You see this tiefling just leaning up against the door frame, just making him sweat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen it before when I went to see the
See if I actually have a picture of her. So I actually do have a picture of what she looks like.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
She's actually known as Lavender Lil. And she just goes, so are you going to pay for me with one of your poorly rendered performances? That she's heard so much about from the Gold Goblin.
So now you're giving me a bad time.
I know, it's going to cost you more.
Do
I see you're smart enough to point out every extra cost here.
You still at it, Lavender?
Always.
Thought so.
do,
Have you seen a
do the comments today's music is even worse now, so enjoy.
Look, just because you're uncultured.
Yeah, and
Do you happen to know if Harry or Willie is still here?
That depends.
On
She sticks her hand out.
Yeah, it is.
really?
Yeah.
Information.
Is money.
It is, but for such a small thing.
I mean, just
Well,
ask questions.
he looks at Quest over there and goes, there's your small thing.
Well, you technically just charged his time already by using his time, so we paid you already. You got to tease him, so we'd like our answer, please.
No, I actually get paid to tease people.
Well, then he can pay you, that's fine, but we need to know this information.
Apparently you're his purse.
No, I never was his person, never will be.
In which case then someone's got to pay me for his time.
Hang on.
Or I get to break a leg.
Well, can we choose the leg?
Yours.
Oh,
You get to choose left or right.
Just pay the woman.
I don't know what she owes. Or I owe. I'm confused.
If she's unsatisfied with the payment, she breaks a leg.
Oh, good.
Higher than a copper, less than a gold.
And she just smiles at you.
So a song's out of the question.
Well, you are the question. If the song came out of you, then she's not paying for it. And she doesn't accept that as payment.
So it's enough.
But technically speaking, if you sang her a song, you could charge her for that service, and you both have services owed, you could technically cancel each other out.
But it's in the Temple of Callistria, and he's not a servant of Callistria.
That's a good.
And in which
point.
case, anything he does on her grounds without her permission is considered a breach of contract.
Yep, that's what I would do.
And you'll have to do penance in the cells.
Speaking of contracts, I never remember signing one.
You walked into the temple. Only the willing may enter.
Does it say that somewhere?
It's on
Yes.
the parchment above the door.
Oh well. I have 5 souls.
She looks at you. And she starts eyeing your left leg.
No.
Are you happy with that, she says.
I think my happiness is out of the question at this stage.
Well, you are questioned after all.
Ah! Seeing as I won gold yesterday, I don't know if you have some of your money, so I'm just going to give her gold.
So you are his first.
No, I won that from yesterday, so technically it's his money.
Let's not argue.
So you've given up talking. You're giving up talking about yourself in the third person, I see. Unless you've got a brother called Argue. So now that you're paid for his services, what services would you like to pay for?
I was hoping that that payment would include our question. Not his question. The question I've just asked you about the information from
No, you're paying.
whereabouts.
You're paying for question, not for a question.
We've got to change our damn name.
I'll do opposite. Bloody answer to it.
You already have multiple times. Sorry to burst your bubble there, buddy.
Alright, I'll give her another goal.
Okay, so your friends are currently staying in a cell together, having a pleasant night, apparently.
Care to elaborate?
No, she doesn't want to.
Doozer really does not want her to elaborate either.
Doesn't particularly want to elaborate on the comings and goings of Perry.
I can't fault you for that.
She says that I'm sure he'll write another book about it.
Yes. Okay. And are they in one piece? Or what, do they enter in one piece? The room. Enter the room. I don't care about each other, just the room.
Well, she wasn't really, doing blow by blow.
No, that costs extra. I'm aware of that.
It does. But Willie has got small bits of metal embedded in all his fingers.
Oh, that's painful.
And Harry's currently discussing things with a bunch of clerics.
Oh, okay. What particular things?
All the admittance for killing Sir Auric.
Now, I know who Sir Auric is, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So is he currently in admittance with the High Priestess?
Poor Peter can't make it back in again. Apparently, his computer won't like it, and his phone's not doing it.
Oh. That sucks.
I'll just tell him we'll work out something different next time. He says that don't let the party kill his character.
No, we'll try and save him somehow. Yeah.
It's more fun that way. Okay, so, and they say that they had to reset his hands because they weren't set properly.
Right. It's a bit of a sudden bit, isn't it?
Apparently, it was a hasty job last time.
It was a bit of a rush job.
So they've used pins to hold everything in place,
Good, maybe I'll just stop using it this time.
and that's why he was in the cell with Perry all night.
What's Perry got to do with it?
Well, he couldn't use his hands.
Doozer visibly twitches.
Yeah, I'm not even going to ask about that one.
How old's Harry?
Like 17.
If you can find the actual records of Perry's age, I'd be surprised.
Well, considering he is of mixed heritage, it could quite easily be anything. So, now that you've paid for that answer, I'll go see if Perry would like to have a word with you.
If he's conscious, yes, please.
I'm sure he's conscious. So, unless you've got other services you'd like to have while you're here?
No, we've
Can I just go commune?
Yes, you can. It's over this way. Just remember to put something in the collection box on the way.
Okay.
And your time will be representative of what you donate. As always, the temple aims to please.
So if we put in a copy, you walk in and walk
I got that. Thank you. Let's be clear. Communion means I'm going to go throw it in the altar, right?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, 5 silver pieces that she needs to take.
Yep.
Go commune.
And you have a pleasant time. Hear some nice music in your head. and feel at peace for the first time in a while.
I made a mistake. Can I get some help? I need counseling. Maybe some therapy.
Religion roll.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's like the godly jukebox or something.
Goddamn.
Natural 20.
No.
More like the opposite way.
It's 3 plus whatever.
Religion, or can I pull my bardic lore up?
This one's religion.
That's gonna be a 7. Oh, an 8.
An 8. Okay, so you start throwing snide comments at the goddess in her temple.
Yep. That sounds like I do.
And you basically, after spending this time here just saying all these things you'd really like to have, you open your eyes and find yourself in a ring full of priests and priestesses just looking down at you.
Oh.
Shall I take myself out, or do you want to throw me?
Oh no, our goddess says that you have asked for assistance. We have our list of the assistances that you've requested and the cost. And don't worry, we'll worry about the cost afterwards.
Chris eyes just glaze over.
Well, it is user pays.
Yep.
And so one of the priests leads you off somewhere.
I'm kind of reminded of the scene in, what is it? Emperor's New Groove and the Go-Go. Lots of gears putting it up. Yep. Broken bones. Yep.
What? Giant waffle? Yep. Shot once another.
Okay, so Dooza is waiting with Kroll in the entryway area. With Lavender coming back in and going, I see that your little goblin friend is asking more questions.
Hearing these screams. It's the bridge ones we got.
Yeah, that's not surprised.
And he's gone in for the all-in package.
Oh, the platinum package, lovely. We'll literally go through
That's the
platinum.
problem. Like, can you afford that?
Nope, your buddy can.
Oh right, he's using his body. Got it.
Yeah.
Juicer kind of visibly twitters again.
Oh, he's gone for the work now, play now, pay later plan.
Ah, the
Because that always
afterpay.
works.
God.
Wonder how much it costs.
That's okay. He'll be leaving with a couple of curses, but he'll be fine, I'm sure.
Oh.
What, that he's not already cursed?
Oh no, the curses are until he pays off the debt.
Oh, no, I mean, he's not already cursed.
Oh no, they're basically making sure he's free of all taint before they curse him. They want a clean slate.
That sounds like it's not a cheap way of doing it. It's a way.
Oh, I wonder if they'll get rid of his skulls.
Quite possibly. They've been known to cleanse the soul of almost anything. Just ask Parry.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, muscles have been cleansed. Again. Great.
No, I really don't want to ask Harry. I don't want any more of those mental.
Yeah, you do.
It's bad enough getting those at the Wizard's Tale.
Well, you got a nice story coming in.
Excuse me.
Okay, so Parry comes out.
Wearing.
Where got all his stuff.
Excellent.
Apparently, they've had all their divinations and stuff, and the goddess has decreed she has no issue with what happened.
Huh.
Okay.
That's oddly forgiving.
It's not. It's actually.
Okay.
No, because Harry now has to live with the fact that he's killed someone important.
You like he gets.
Dot.
She is, the Calistria is the goddess of revenge after all, and he did it out of revenge.
True.
He
Yeah.
actually did it in supplication to her.
Yeah. Yep, that's fair.
It is terrifying, isn't it?
And
Be warned.
and he even feels better for it after having this long conversation with the head priestess.
Conversation.
No, she actually did talk with him.
Amazing.
Because he is a devout follower after all.
Doozer, I've got plenty of stories to tell.
And then Willie comes out butt naked with his hands all wrapped
Plenty
up.
of stories to
That's
tell.
what I was expecting. At least one of them was going to be butt naked. It's just the necessity of
And it looks as if his hands won't be usable for at least a couple of days.
Excellent. I'm putting them both in a sling.
Oh, they already are.
Oh, good. They can see.
And his hands are out like this.
Okay, well.
Which is why he needed Paris assistance overnight, apparently. Said Lil.
Sure. Not going to
Yeah.
ask.
It's the reason why he's going to closet. Actually, no, he's still naked.
No, he didn't ask for them back.
That's right.
Do you
But-
want to clothe Willie?
I'll take Willie back to the room that he was being fixed at.
Yep. And he stays there for a little
Say,
while.
nurse Crawl, the dementia patient needs changing.
Fine.
Yes!
I'll go help Willie put his clothes on.
There's no clothes in there.
Okay. What
It's going to be a bit hard to put his clothes on. All his gear's sitting in one of the other rooms. You don't know which one.
Where is his gear?
Surely you know where he got his hands fixed.
Not really. He wasn't paying attention when he walked out.
That's
Can I get the attention of one of the priestesses?
Yes. She has. What service are you going to pay for, sir?
No service right now.
Okay, and then they walked off.
Parry throws him a gold and says, "Can you please have Willie's clothes back?"
Are you sure they're still being fumigated?
Fumigated.
Yes.
What the hell happened to them?
Apparently he was wearing them.
That's fair.
Understandable.
It might take a day or so to actually clean the clothes.
I'll pay this in advance to have them back.
That's okay. We're intending on giving them back. We don't want to keep them. Not with what they've been through.
Hang on, but we're not here for another day. We're leaving in like 4 hours.
I tell Willie he's not getting my kimono. It's not happening.
So he's going to have to wear some other clothes. Okay, I guess we're going to buy Willie clothes then.
In which case, the priest goes, "Well, okay, you can take the pins out then." And then they
The what?
pins.
Because we're going to miss out because remember they said it'll take another couple of days before we can take the hardware out.
Wait, why can't we just leave Willie here? Because he's...
I mean, technically, yes, I can. I've done it like maybe once or twice, but okay, alright.
Do we risk him breaking his hands again?
Yep.
Because he's going to be silly.
Hang on, what part risk doesn't even enter the question here? It's a factor. Like, he's going to break his hands again. The question is when, not how.
Like five minutes later, he's like punching Doozer in the face.
He's trying to get the freaking door. Oh.
I'm sure the rest will be next.
Flurry of broken hands. Yeah.
Flurry your bricks.
Alright,
Snap.
what do you reckon, Tarsi? Do we wait here for his hands for 2 days, or do we go ahead and knock him part?
Well, the boat does come back tonight.
Well, apparently it's here every day, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. So it arrives back at night, but it leaves at midday.
Yeah.
So even if we don't come back today, we can get back tomorrow before they need to come out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hopefully we don't.
Really behind.
Oh, I just said that as a suggestion. We could leave him behind in case it takes more than 3
Well,
days.
he's currently getting medical attention.
He is currently getting medical attention.
He looks like he really needs it.
I was about to say he's probably
So
getting the
do you
attention
wanna
that he
leave
doesn't
him here?
want.
We can leave him here if you like while we head out for a bit. That's what I want to do.
I mean, what makes more sense?
Gambling comparison.
Just gonna make sure he's the one pushing the bill here.
Why am I pushing the bill?
No, not you, Willie.
No.
He
Maybe
looks
you
like
can pay for it if you want, but...
he looks like he's already here, already there.
Okay.
Really can pay for it.
Alright, well, now that we know...
Oh, it's the American system too.
well, now that we know that Willie's safe...
You hear a goblin scream in the distance.
yeah, exactly.
Hurry, rush and see what's happening.
There's a locked door. You heard it through the locked door.
Can I peek through the wall?
You try, but you don't see anything.
A priestess pokes you in the eye.
and there's a cough behind you. There's Lavender Lil standing there.
She costs extra.
Yes, it does. She's got her hand out.
What if we're here for collections? We're here to collect the screaming goblin.
Oh, he hasn't finished yet.
How long will it take?
As long as it takes, he's got for the full treatment.
Can we cut that short or pause it?
It's not something you can stop midway through. As you can tell, he's just getting to the screaming part now. He hasn't got to the highest
so
yet.
in terms of the cleansing cycle, how long is it going to take?
Oh, fair. It depends on how much sin he's got to be cleansed of.
That's gonna be a while.
Yeah. I explained to her exactly what Quest has been doing.
Well, that's good to know.
How long will it take?
Sorry, exactly what do you think Quest has been doing?
Being a goblin.
Being a goblin.
Yeah, walks out of the wall.
She walks out with actual, tunes.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't take more than an hour.
How long have we got left before the boat?
Like 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Why are we still leaving Willie behind?
Because he's enjoying the medical attention that they and you gave him.
He's liking his illustrations.
Actually, you can probably just catch him.
We can.
When he can use his hands again.
We can leave him a message to let him know we've got when to meet him.
Well, he presumably
I
still
literally just write a note, just leave it somewhere with him in one of the pins.
Pin it to him.
Here, when you can use your hands, read this.
I like to think like there's a little bit of like wire hanging out. I'm just going slip onto it.
That's exactly what it said.
When he would read this.
Okay, so
don't worry. We're leaving you here for your own safety, as you don't break
Yes.
your hands again.
Yes.
and you have about an hour of goblin screams. At which
Yep.
points it stops,
Yep.
and then the door opens.
Can we collect our goblin now?
Quest has wide-eyed look of surprise on his face.
Is he dead like that person this
I feel
morning?
like Quest would walk out feeling quite light, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel so much better. Thanks, guys. I really needed that. I'll be starting to your goals more often.
It no longer has any scarring on him whatsoever.
At least that's a plus.
Juice is like less jealous.
I don't like that. Can we put it back?
So no scarring whatsoever?
Nope.
The open wound's gone.
Does the ink stay?
Nope, the ink's gone as well.
Alright, do I get the invoice at the door, or...?
They said, I'm sure the invoice will come to you when it's time.
Oof.
It's okay, I've put my good book somewhere around here. That's okay. The
Why
Lost
are we
Omens,
toying with
Gods and
multiple
Magic.
gods again?
I'm not.
Why he's not?
Because it was within Quest's character to be rude to the god.
Yeah, because that worked out so well for you last time as
I
well.
mean, it did. I got you guys out of having... I got out of having to, murder everyone. It's no good thing. I choose to do it as a win.
Right, you have your good and bad days. Stefan, if it was anywhere, it would be in the first two shelves there.
Oh, okay.
But apparently it has been misplaced like some of my other books. I don't think it's in there anywhere.
I can check with his favorite.
This thing called mindfulness, where I should just pay attention to the present and not dwell on the things that I've done. Or worry about what other people might do in the future.
There are many things that we are wrong.
Which book are you looking for?
The Pathfinder Lost Omens, Gods and Magic. So it should have a side that looks like that.
And smaller.
as you can tell, it's not obvious anyway there.
Oh well.
I have all the other ones over here, so it's like, why can't I find that one? It's okay. It may have been lost in all the crap that's happened. Because it has some stuff I was looking for.
Is it the one behind your seat?
That was the one that got lost.
There you go.
Yay!
It does happen because it has exactly what you would put on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got a moderate curse on you.
Yay.
When people react as though you're insulting them, even in normal conversation.
That's the one anyway.
Whenever you attempt to make an impression, the outcome is 1 degree of success worse than the result you roll. If you can converse with someone over a long period of time but don't attempt to make an impression, you still insult them. And you suffer the effects of a critical failure to make an impression. So if you don't make a roll, you
That's
critically
really bad for a bard.
Hey, I'm gonna get some form of renown.
I'm guessing they didn't even tell you this.
Hmm?
I'm guessing they didn't inform you
No.
of this.
Oh no, they let him know all about that.
Oh, okay. At least you know. But yeah, your odds probably was how it's different from normal.
But they did remove 2 ritual sacrifices to them as too.
Is the weird overwood gone?
Yep.
Yeah, and the ink is
Gone as well.
Richie.
all of it. But do you know what that means? It means I'm free to get new tattoos there now.
No.
Where?
No.
Doozle.
Yeah, I do want to know.
Your skin is completely smooth as if nothing's been ever done to it.
Tattoos all the time.
Yeah, but it's yeah.
We could ask the Percys where they get theirs done.
Oh, you mean where am I going to get them done?
Yes.
I'll do it myself.
Well, the Percys also do it
There's a
themselves.
couple of places around
Really?
here.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they went somewhere as well.
They do the back room.
Yeah, every time I've gone out in the city to go get tattoos, something's happened. Just like every time I try to get the cow, something happens. So, it just happens.
And now you've got a clean slate.
I've got a clean slate. I can do a new song.
You could. You could tattoo and use it.
And the thing that you find a little bit strange is you do remember leaving your body in the room.
Sorry. I remember walking out the room.
But
while my
good.
body was still in
You
the
basically got a body with the tattoo and all the scarring is still in that room.
Oh, what?
the same.
No, it was the body you were in before they gave you a new one. You literally got the clean slate.
Wow.
So he's still questioning.
Yeah.
He's still quest. But
It's
however,
exactly the same. So they put like made a new body.
yes.
I'll be very happy.
That would explain the scream.
Yes.
Do you remember the scream?
No.
You know, it's normally called reincarnation. Or
I was hoping he came out as a squirrel.
Have you got more orc in you now? Is he any taller?
no, he's exactly the same as he was beforehand. Just no
They managed
tattoos,
to
no
roll
scars.
perfectly, so he's exactly the same.
Boo.
Can I take a feat early? Can I take the first level walk feet tusks?
Unfortunately, you're exactly the same. They didn't change anything.
Okay.
Just that you now have no tattoos, no scarring, and a brand new body. So no sins with this body yet. I did say clean slate.
Yep.
Yes.
Now to find new ways to corrupt it. Let's go insult more gods. Have we missed a lot?
No. Should probably leave soonish.
Everything feels new to you.
Walking feels good to me too, huh?
Yep. It's like the first time you've ever walked on your feet. The first time you've ever touched something. The first time you've ever dressed.
The brew's real easy for a while. Smooth as a bat. No, that was it.
Oh, it hasn't grown yet.
No, like smooth as a baby's dog. It's almost smooth as a baby's dog.
You step outside, first time you've ever been outside. A lot of firsts for you today.
Hard as a guy.
Hey, let's get on the boat first, then get going, then get drunk. Or on the you can. Yeah.
Okay. So the four of you make it down to the boat with Poppy. Poppy just keeps sniffing Quest.
That's fair. He smells clean.
Yeah, Poppy doesn't understand.
No, neither do I.
This dog smells. Oh, it's like it was off the dog before.
Hope he doesn't awaken some couple of urges inside you.
And then Poppy licks you. First slobber.
Yep.
Just wait till you get peed on.
Ah.
I can't wait for the kobolds to not recognize you.
Oh, they probably will.
Mm-mm.
Well, he won't have the scarring or the
Yeah.
tattoos.
And they're as dumb as a fence post.
Yeah, but he still sounds annoying, so.
Okay, so you get on the boat after handing over silver each.
So what were we supposed to investigate?
The lighting up of the rune, and there's possible runes out at Whatchamajiggy. Wherever we're going, I can't remember where we're going. Yes, it was to investigate, not murder Hobo. Whatever Parry is going to think about it.
Parry's thinking about murder hoboing.
No, not really.
Yeah, my notes from last session are really, really, really cool. All I've written is we're being sent back to report to the Golden Goblin and go investigate something in Roderick's Cove.
That's it, Roderick's Cove, that's where we're going.
Different game completely.
It's a different game.
Makes it harder.
Yes, we're going to
So,
Roderick's
and yes,
Cove.
we're traveling to. That's not in this setting.
But
And we're doing. That's not my character.
but what that investigation
Yes, do
was,
stuff.
I don't
So,
remember because I didn't write it down. So.
Well, we were told to investigate, it just in general. And not, walking, going, hi, boom, we're all here.
Well, yeah, but it was something that was going down in Roderick's Cove.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going missing in Sandpoint, right?
Yeah.
All we got told was that something is odd.
Out at Roderic's Cove.
Yeah.
They already got a team investigating Sandpoint and the disappearances.
Yeah, but literally the only thing we know is that there's something odd in the
Mhm.
Cove. Not specifically what is odd.
That's why they sent you to investigate.
Yes,
Cool, so my notes aren't totally horrible, we just actually don't know what we're doing.
We
Good
don't-
to know.
Yep.
Well, they decided that it was better to send you there than something with more information after the deaths and stuff of late.
Well, I mean,
And
some of that wasn't our fault,
It was a
technically.
request that, we go as far away as possible.
Yes, that was true. And that was as far away as they could send you.
Hopefully trying not enough.
Well,
Like a hole from there.
problem with that is that's outside of their domain and it belongs to someone else. And they can't technically send you to another Pathfinder Guild's territory. So you're still in their territory, but at the furthest reaches of their territory.
Just so happens to be a place that we kind of like, so.
Okay, I should have a description of Roderick's Cove here for you. Oh, actually, I have a nice picture of a fog-ridden cove.
Woo!
Nothing creepy about that in a horror game. And that has, a population of over 1,000.
Wow. You sing once, everyone will know you.
They have 50 half-elves. They have 40 halflings. They have 30 elves, 20 gnomes, and 3 tieflings. The whole 3.
Just count them.
5, 5, 5, 3%.
And they have almost 1,000 humans.
Okay, so definitely minority then.
Crystal face paint up. Yeah, I'm gonna.
What help with that?
Disguise.
I know he's quite happy to help you look like an ugly gnome. Yeah, just beating around the edges a bit.
Maybe make him a little paler.
Just make a little bleach one.
I call this stick the ugly stick.
Juice can help with that. So, new body, right?
Pinata, pinata!
You still bounce, right?
Let's find out.
Just like climbs up halfway up to my ass and
Go
just
so high.
swan dives off.
As he's falling. How do I bounce?
So what you do know about Roderic's Cove is it was founded about 80 years ago. So it's one of the youngest cities in the coast. And it is the breadbasket of Riddleport. It's the place that grows everything that Riddleport sells that didn't used to be something living, sentient and moving.
Okay.
Because there's no fishermen out of Riddleport. They all moved to Roderic Cove.
Because of the giant eels, I'm guessing.
There's that, and the fact that they'd stab you in the back for your load.
True. True that.
So they found it was safer to drop the fish here, and someone takes it by ship over there, and then the Overlord Thug shows up and takes control of it, and then distributes it based
Oh,
on
yes,
based on who pays the most.
thugs that we've beat up
I
before.
don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you did happen to kill one of his lead thugs.
They're not thugs, they're just street rats.
He was a former Covosian guard.
Was he?
Yeah.
Ah.
Not a good one, obviously.
If he was a good one, he wouldn't have been a former one.
Yes.
Now he's a former worker.
Just like a form of being at this point.
Okay, and so you were able to get from Quest roughly what the town looks like.
Cool.
Well ordered compared to everywhere else you've been.
Why is it so neat?
Is that
Simple. Like, the guys that came here, they were, actual people that worked on good stuff.
I actually tried to find it, but I couldn't find
And
it.
how's that different from everyone else?
Well, most people that like start up towns and stuff, they just got a lot of money. And a lot of people that move things the way they want up.
Fair enough.
Well, they're adventurous.
And you show up just afternoon on the boat. Boat brings money and empty containers, and you see that they start filling containers at the docks. They got many goblins, they would normally have many goblins working here. Well, all the goblins have disappeared recently, so other people have had to do the goblins' jobs.
Are there any like taverns or things near the docks?
You have a look around you. There doesn't appear to be a tavern near the docks, as far as you can tell. So, having a look, from what you were told, there is a chapel with a graveyard. There's the Peacock Manor. There's the Blackberry Bakery, which actually makes real food. The Lankmere's Mill, where they basically turn the grain into flour. There's Brogan's Apothecary, where they actually make real remedies. There's Hudstein's Kennel, where they have various dog breeding things going. They have the Cove Guardhouse, where you ran into and out of that many a time over your time here. There's the Creekside Inn and Tavern, where they don't really have that strong a beer. It's more water than beer.
Ah, just like the Golden Goblin. From
Probably not enough to think of a big casino, which is under. Gets people drunk to get a bit of money.
And their town square is actually called the Circle because it's round.
Town circle. That.
That they have their Cove Hall where their governor runs out of, because they don't have a mayor, they have a governor. They have their Calstrop meats where they actually sell meat from pigs, cows and sheep and other livestock.
Juicer would probably go by there and get some good meat later.
They have Peric Smithery, where they say they have the best halfling metalsmith around.
Ah.
And they have Palson's Cuts, another meat market, also dealing with livestock. And they have Connor's General Store. You got kicked out of that one more than once. They do sell a lot of sweets in there. They have the Temple of the Stars and Roads. They never really told you anything interesting there. But your family always stopped by. They always gave an offering. Except that one time before you left where everything went wrong. And there's the Rampant Reef Claw. It's the biggest, best restaurant in town. And that is saying something. They actually make decent food here. Then they have the Boatyard, which is right on the docks where they actually build ships. The Armory, which you're never allowed into. And they're all the important places of town. So there's only one place that actually sells alcohol to any big extent, and they water it down a lot. And it's known as Creekside.
Yep.
More than anything else.
Well, do we want to go to this? Well, you want to go to the meat place?
It doesn't have to be right now.
Okay.
I meant I wouldn't mind going past there, maybe as we're leaving to get some dried meat.
Right, gotcha.
Okay. So where would Quest like to take everyone?
Feels like the first thing we should do is go secure lodging, right?
I assume they have some at the tavern? See, it's called an inn?
Hang on. I should go home, right?
What do you mean home?
Oh, my family's own place is here.
You have family here?
Oh, yeah, you got to have somewhere to sleep.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know you had family here. Okay, well, I guess we'll go.
Well, I mean, they're probably dead by this stage, who knows?
I thought, yeah, okay, yeah.
Quest will go find home. If it's still home.
Okay, you find a door with a eviction notice on it.
Cool.
Nice home.
What's it say?
It basically was saying for failure to pay town dues. They were evicted about 6 months ago, and no one's wanted to buy the place.
Well, you know what that means, guys.
Well, they're squatting.
Squatters' rights. Hang on. I used to break in here all the time. Goes around the back and he finds the loose window and...
Okay, well he goes around the back. You notice the front door's slightly ajar.
Can I peek in?
Yeah, you peek in. As Quest is going through the complex method of using the loose brick to open this bit to get in through that window to point out just a little bit more. After he goes through his 20-odd different secret ways of getting into the house and finding half of them blocked by furniture.
Is there anything in the
Oh yeah, the place is fully furnished.
Oh, okay. There's what's on the floor.
There's boxes and crates. A lot of stuff that seems to have been packed, ready to ship.
Okay, it's gonna be specific.
a lot of things with the word dangerous on it.
Is there goblin shit on the floor?
No.
Excellent. I'm gonna walk inside.
Okay.
Do not trust your family.
That's alright. Tradesman's entrance comes onto a roof and starts pulling aside the thatch work.
Okay, and you're getting through the top.
Do we hear that?
You hear the thump upstairs. Two-story house.
Weapons ready just in case?
And you find that all the chairs and seating here are for small people.
Right, I'll have
As is the ceiling height.
it's for small people.
Yeah.
Oh, so Dooza probably doesn't even fit in the bloody door.
Oh, you can on your hands and knees. Think Gandalf in the Hobbit hole.
It's a house-wise for you and me, it's fine.
Dooza probably gets to the front door and is just like, yeah, no.
You could pretty much see into the top story.
That's cozy.
I probably could have picked Quest up and shoved him through the window.
Yep.
I
There's a reason why no one else has wanted it.
I probably make a comment as Quest scrambles in the window, just like, do you need help there, buddy?
He went through the thatching in the top,
Oh, do you need help there, buddy?
and then it was like thump into the room up top.
Never mind.
So, and you when you get down to the bottom to open the front door for them, you see Kroll already sitting on one of the chairs.
Yeah.
Front door open.
Oh, you found your way in. Are the others coming?
I think they'd like to, but you and I are the only ones that are of sufficient height.
I think Poppy probably followed Kroll in.
Poppy's inside,
Oh yeah, yeah. Puppy's okay.
and there's this thumping sound as Poppy's all happy hitting things with his tail,
It's a real shame to be them, hey?
and then it starts to pour down outside.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, we could take you right with, they're not gonna fit, are they?
You can.
No.
What exactly are we doing in this tiny house?
Oh, I came for lodging.
This is Question's family's hobby.
Oh.
What? Did you just call my family home?
You're hearing this drip up top.
Is it not the correct term for goblin homes?
At which point you remember you fell through the thatching.
Yeah.
Abode?
It's home.
Home, okay. Sorry, I wasn't aware goblins use the same
Hey.
word.
Dooza, can you reach the roof?
Probably.
Can you fix the thatching?
Just hold your hand.
I presume thatching is like the.
Give me a craft roll.
There it is.
Let's see if you can get those natural ones out.
Probably. Rate my dice being
Thatch is like preserved branches.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like hay or
Yeah.
like woven hay.
And straw and
And
other
straw,
things. It's
yeah.
generally a mixture of stuff.
Dude is gonna make you a roof out
crafting.
of mud in a minute.
It's improvement.
Yeah, probably.
If you fire it, you concrete tiles.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Natural 20?
No farmers. Not a 1, but it's not any better than the last few rolls.
Well, your dice are consistent, it seems.
Yeah, I know. All of them are.
The hole's bigger.
What are you looking for?
9.
Okay, you start to hear more of a patter upstairs.
Thanks, Dooza. Big help.
No problem.
And you start seeing little drops of water from the ceiling above.
So I think what I say is, thanks, Dooza. Great job. I think what you hear is, Doozy, you fuckwit. Bitch.
That's right, because you're trying to make an impression.
Yep.
You probably like hear the whole roof just getting ripped off at that point.
And then you hear this big ripping sound, and suddenly it sounds as if you're outside. But you're not getting wet, but the bit above you is starting to look a bit damp. And it's the bedrooms.
Yeah. There's no boxes or anything upstairs.
No, that was all the bedrooms.
That's fine. I guess we're not staying It's okay. She's just.
As you look outside and see the roof on the floor, on the lawn.
That's gonna lower property value. Might be able to rebuy this place.
This is how you gotta take the roof off to fix it. I mean, come on.
And you start seeing bits of ice start falling.
But if you're going to rebuy the place, what if we took out the second floor so the others can actually join us inside?
I suppose can't lower the property value anymore.
Deuce has already done the roof.
I'm trying to fix the hole.
Well, you did by making the hole bigger.
No,
Well, you can't see the hole anymore.
Exactly. What hole?
No. You gotta take the roof off to patch it, right? That's how you did it at home.
No, it's just what hole? As in what roof? Wait, there's a hole in the roof? I don't see a roof.
See, there's no hole.
So, I guess we've got to go get lodging then.
I guess so.
Hey, looking outside, you're having this really big hailstorm happening right now. And Perry's just looking like a drowned rat outside in the hailstorm as he's getting hit by hail the size of his thumbnail.
Maybe inquiring as how much it is. Having some lodging here would be good.
What's in the boxes?
It appears to be things your parents left behind on their last trip. A whole lot of stuff marked as dangerous, do not touch.
Yep. I touch it.
You open it and have a look at it.
Yeah.
Strange things with glowing runes.
No, no.
Hey, Parry! Parry!
What?
Get in here!
I keep hearing an ow, ow,
Ow, ow, How do I get in?
You gotta do a
Take out the
acrobatics roll.
second floor.
Squeeze.
Squeeze with
The action
acrobatics?
is called squeeze.
The action's called squeeze.
It is.
Alright. Acrobatics.
What'd you get? Natural 1.
No, opposite way.
Natural 20. Okay, so you go. How do I? You're in.
Ah,
And you
Looks
just
a
have to
lot
be
smaller.
able to get in quite easily.
this looks a lot smaller from the outside.
And now you're no longer being hit by the ice.
Yeah. Looks a lot smaller from the outside. What do you need my help with?
I've got these things full of like glowing runes,
Ah.
and you know I'm only an honorary cipher mage, so I don't really know what it means.
Great. What runes are in there?
He seems to have a lot of glowing rock from various excavations all over the place. You're not sure exactly what they are, and everything's labeled dangerous, do not touch. And they sort of had that look of the same sort of runes that were on I can't even remember the missing party member's name.
Willie.
Yeah, it's been that
Oh.
long that since I've said the name that I couldn't remember the name. So sharp, yes.
There's no point trying to study them because they're probably going to jump around.
Seeing if we got another message from our missing person. No, we have not.
Perhaps another reason to purchase this place.
Well, I'm just thinking, Juicer, should we go to the general store and find like a tarp we can throw over the thing? How big's the building?
The building is fairly big. It's a normal sized building. It's just that they
Small door.
managed to separate it into multiple levels.
Deuce is probably still outside trying to like patch your hole.
And there's all this mud and stuff thrown all over the actual thatched roof on the ground.
I love how we've had 3 natural 20s and two on doors. And one on... What was the other silly one? It was you.
Yeah, it was something.
It was you.
Gambling he's in.
Gambling,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
right,
Cleaning us out.
So yes, you're sitting there. It is quite peaceful hearing the sound of rain on the roof above.
How you going out there, Doozer?
The sound of sharp bits of ice hitting nicely crafted wood floors.
How you going?
Better.
It's true what they say. Generational wealth only lasts.
So you've managed to patch the hole.
What was it? Crafting.
Yep.
So 18 plus 6.
23.
24.
You think you managed to fix it so the hole won't be a problem?
However, the roof is still removed.
I put the roof back.
Okay, give me a athletics check.
19.
Okay, the whole room shakes as you hear this crunch. A couple of windows upstairs break.
Doozer.
Glass things.
You buy it from Sandpoint. It's only glass blocks on the coast. But you also know Sandpoint Glassworks got shut down
Yeah.
because the owner and operator of the Glassworks is currently wanted for murder.
Other,
Don't remember that.
Who you also let go at Thistletop.
The other reason the glassworks at Sandpoint is like a makeshift.
Yeah, I remember turning it into a farm.
Yeah, but the operator of it had to get his permission to do stuff to it. And he turned out to be he killed his father and abducted Amika without giving his permission to them to repurpose it.
Isn't that the half brother or brother?
Yep.
Yeah, didn't we like repurpose it?
Yeah,
Like-
but they needed his permission to do so.
I thought we just
Changed
made
it.
the legal argument that he's an outlaw and therefore his property can be seized by the government.
You haven't actually made that argument.
Oh, okay. What is it? Eminent domain? Oh well.
He's currently accused of a crime he hasn't been officially sentenced with a crime.
Yeah.
So until he's actually sentenced with a crime, he has not. He's not considered to have committed it as yet.
Yeah.
One of those odd law things.
Mm.
So you can't take something from them for a crime they haven't actually been convicted of.
Well, that makes it so much harder because you convict them.
That's why you've got to take people back alive.
Ugh.
Because once they're convicted of something, then you can actually do that sort of stuff.
So, windows are gone, can't repair them. Just checking off the lorry.
Yeah, lower the value.
Oh, value low, value low.
Imagine if we took out the second floor, how much cheaper they'll sell this place.
What? You want to take out the second floor before we buy it? Make it what? Fit the habitation by the majority of the population?
Well, do we want these two to stay here?
Yes,
After he buys it.
after we buy it.
Oh, okay.
Like, if the reason no one's bought it is because no one can fit in here. If you make it so people can fit in here, other people want to buy it.
Right, gotcha. Yep,
Wait,
I follow.
other people can't fit in here? That's perfectly fine.
Look, just because you're a slippery, greasy twig.
You sort of look at Doozer outside in the doorway.
And you can see his like thigh.
I'd like
Or
to
maybe
see
my
this
kid.
try.
Holding a dog. like a
Doozer,
head
I have a
shot.
challenge for you.
Puppy's inside.
Oh, but that's a his
Is
inside.
there anything else useful around, or is it just the dangerous boxes?
Doozer,
Well,
I have a
look,
challenge
quite a
for
few of
you.
those dangerous boxes. There's your family dining table.
Yep.
All your family.
Right, it's a good challenge.
You remember that all their
It's
dishware and all that
gold
sort of
enough
stuff
if
still
you
here.
take up the challenge.
You got your family tree up on a wall.
That's like the tree we bury the family under,
I was
right?
about to say
No, an
5
actual
gold.
document showing
Might
your
use this as
generations,
a backup.
going back about 20 generations.
Your puppy is on
Is the
offer.
map listed on there?
Doesn't have a start,
Puppy's inside, you're outside.
and you've got many trees coming in. It sort of looks more like a forest than a family tree.
Right.
Hey, Doozer says, "Hey puppy, lick Harry to."
Yeah, that's a
almost
bad
death."
idea. That's a bad. You don't want to be licking the parry. You don't know where. You don't know where I've been.
Do we want to go get rooms for the night so everyone can sleep, or
Doozer can probably just like pitch a tent out the front, so, to be
You could.
I'm sure Doozer can pitch a tent.
honest.
Yeah, let me just use smash. Oops, sorry. Well, that works now.
She's She's gonna try and put like one little stake in and then knock down the entire house.
I mean, it has a front yard, right? Somewhat of a front yard. And we have actual tenants in our inventory.
Sure.
So,
The front yard is the street.
Back. Go out the back.
yeah, backyard?
Okay, you go out into the back area of the town, and let's see, what have we got for some of these buildings? What do you mean? You mean there's more than one district? I thought it was just one district. Okay.
District can be like 4 buildings.
You go into the back area of the house, and you see that the back of the house is up against the someone else's house, and you'd partly ripped their roof off as well.
Oh no!
You share the roof.
Well, their problem now. I fixed our roof.
With their part of the roof.
And some mud.
And their windows are also broken.
I didn't do that.
Earthquake.
Yeah, we found this roof in the middle of the street. We started to crack on. You're welcome.
Is there anywhere where I could put up like a tarp?
Oh yeah, you can go a little bit further. There's a couple of trees just on the other side of the road, which is the forest.
Sure, well.
Okay.
Isn't in, right?
Yeah, there is an inn.
Yeah, we could just go to the inn and stay the night.
But I thought you guys wanted to squat.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
The Creekside Tavern and Inn.
Yeah, we don't want to make you squat.
Jesus is perfectly fine with
Harry still wants to do the job.
You notice that back door is bigger than the front.
Oh, okay.
It's a double door.
So we took deliveries, right?
Alright, maybe I'll try going inside through the back door then.
Okay, give me a acrobatics roll as you squeeze in.
15 plus 9.
That's a 24. You squeeze in without breaking anything.
Awesome.
Okay, you're now in on your stomach in the house, taking up most of the dining area. There was a crash. That's
Either way,
okay,
I
I'm
think
sure it wasn't
It
important.
won't make much of a difference, but I think it's actually 22.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said it as like...
Acrobatics.
Still 22.
It takes about a day, about 8 hours to do the original connection. Okay, so you have a look around upstairs. The bedding's all nice and solid. It's a bit icy right now. Ting 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 ting.
Gonna guess prestidigitation won't help that.
I think it does.
Does it?
A tiny square at a time.
Yeah.
Have fun, man.
Prestidigitate. Prestidigitate.
At least it's a cantrip, at least.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 of you that can cast it, so you're both confused.
Oh, you said ice, did you?
Oh, please don't.
I cast blistering invective on it. Hey,
You do have a fireplace.
yeah. We have wood.
There's still wood in it. And a couple of papers.
I look at the papers.
They are things from your dad. Promises for delivery.
Of
All the items in the living room.
two.
Various places around the state.
I take note.
Apparently, he intended to burn it when if he couldn't get back in time.
Evidently.
They were due about 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
And they were evicted.
Is there a specific location there, June?
Yes. Some of them are due at the Pathfinder Lodge. Some of them are due at Cove. Some of them are due in Runelords. They're due in various places all over the place. Some of them are due in Crying Leaf, the Olden Village.
So I'm going to go back downstairs and look at each of the boxes and see which ones are labelled for where.
None of them are labelled.
Can I figure out from those documents which ones are supposed to go where?
Might take you a couple of hours. The way your dad works, he committed most of it to memory, so no one could, shortchange him.
Seems good old dad.
And he never forgot a thing.
Except your birthday.
Well, he never memorized that one.
Well,
Oh, there you
hey,
go.
it took him 3 years to realise that I existed. So,
He thought it was the neighbours.
You thought it was the neighbours. Who's this kid who keeps coming over?
I'm pretty sure, like, my backstory says that my first 3 years I grew up in some village way out of the way, which is why I'm not goblin-like. Then he, like, returned at one point and went, oh, is that my kid?
I don't remember how
Yeah, they'll like take it back.
I knew I left something somewhere.
Alright.
We tried to put you in the crate and add you to the shipment.
Are you finished studying this?
What's there to study?
Or do you not care?
The same runes as watching the face.
There are also notes of the various people who have died touching them.
Who have died touching them?
He put warning labels on them after people died.
Take copies of those.
Harry's really.
Apparently you lost a lot of siblings that way.
Huh. Harry wants to touch him. Wants to. Won't. Or wants to.
Alright, so let's just pack these back up. We'll leave these over here. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Tomorrow I'll open the gateway back to Pathfinder Lodge.
Huh.
I will then take some of these due at the Pathfinder Lodge like half a year ago, so I'll take those ones with me. Maybe get us some kudos. Maybe we should take them all. Not all. Some of them are due elsewhere.
So
Take some of them.
you also have a warning of the runes seem to interact with magic.
So you can't take him through the Wayfinder.
We'll find out the hard way.
Okay!
So I'm gonna go stand at the end. Just wait for the
Harry,
explosion in the distance. Oh, there it is.
Harry's intrigued on what's going to happen. So Harry's going to stay. Harry's going to learn. Harry's going to learn many things about runes today.
But first of all, I'm gonna go take a long rest.
Okay. I'm going to grant
He
you
goes
that.
up and he crawls under one of the beds.
Mm-hmm.
My old sleeping place.
It's even got your name scratched on there. Right where you left it.
Yep.
And then you realise that was before you called yourself Quest.
Ooh.
I had that written down somewhere. This in the other book which I lost. Along with all my other notes.
Lost or just handily misplaced?
No, like my big book of like everything
Yeah.
that we were doing, I wrote down. Yeah, I've lost that.
Somewhere in your house?
Might be in the garage.
Could
Might
be in
in
your
work.
truck. Yeah.
Might be somewhere. No, it's not in the truck. I was on the truck.
You check there at least.
It's the only place I know it's not. I have no idea where it is.
Did Lila steal it?
Could be at a customer's house. But I lost it about a year ago, so
Fair enough.
Luckily you can go back and watch videos.
taking the notes again. Joy.
Except for the episodes that I forgot to record properly.
Yeah.
We have a couple of song videos.
I'm sure I can figure out what's happening based on body language.
Oh god, we're all gonna die.
Have a few of those. Okay, so who goes to the end?
I think those two are going to be.
If everyone's staying, I'm okay to stay, but what's the reason?
Well, I'm currently on my stomach in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's probably not the nicest place to sleep.
It's comfortable.
Well, never mind then.
Puppy comes over, tail wagging, you're hearing the sounds of broken crockery as he comes along.
Yeah, I probably just
Brick Poppy outside.
no, I probably just get comfy and fall asleep where I am.
And Puppy just lies on top of you.
Fair enough. Hey, it's my wolf blanket.
So yes, what does parry and crawl do?
I'll just use Puppy as a pillar.
Okay.
Stacks on Doozer. Parry's going to lean up against the wall and just.
Okay, so leaning up against the wall and the roof.
Hey, do fix the roof
I'm
for
not
you.
that heavy though.
No, but when you sit up, your head's pretty much close to the roof.
She puts his head through the second floor.
No, that's when he stands up.
That's why I said no. I'm sitting down.
Right.
And then you're probably going, oh, that's where you are, Quest.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so you have a really restful night in Quest's former lodging. To the sound of a thunderstorm. And partway through the morning, what happened to my house?
Who said that?
Someone outside.
The neighbor.
Oh,
Didn't happen. Nothing happened.
And there's a bang, bang, bang on Quest's front door.
yell back. Nobody's home.
Well, I'd go and talk to them, but I'm likely to insult them. Undeliberately. But you all hear, nah, fuck the cunts.
Sure they're your neighbours.
Yeah, when did you turn into Parry?
Hey! Not that mean.
So Quest goes down to greet them then.
No, Parry opens the door.
Parry opens the door and looks out at someone's knee.
Someone's what?
Knee.
Knee.
I broke my head out the door.
Yep.
Hello?
Do you know what happened to the roof? And what you doing in this place is being condemned. Goblins used to live here, you know.
Goblins.
Yes.
About the goblin that we have here.
I can see there's one cowering under a bed upstairs.
Alright, fine. Hello, fine sir. How does your day go?
Listen here, you son of a...
I will attempt to do the make an impression roll.
Okay.
That takes some dinner though, right?
I believe it does. Let's have a look at the actual thing, because we may as well get the rules right.
I need to find an insult generator.
Oh, the Shakespearean insult generator.
Yeah.
Knave! Scoundrel fool!
Make an impression. For at least 1 minute of conversation. And it's normally against the will DC of the target.
Will DC.
Yep.
It's a persuasion check, is it?
It is a diplomacy check.
Alright.
So if you get a success, the target's attitude improves by one step. If you get a critical success, it improves by 2. Or for you, 1 step.
Well, that's natural.
Okay, so you managed to improve it by 1 step because of your flaw. So another natural 20.
What are you doing to me?
Do I recognise the person?
Yes, you do. It's someone who used to torment you as a child.
A pointy hedge-born canker blossom.
And they said that you were bound to be just as useless as your father. Is your lasting impression of them?
How does that work? So 20 is an automatic upgrade.
Yeah,
That counts up
it's
to
2 successes normally, which means the curse makes it 1 success of improvement of the attitude. So,
Success rather than crit success.
yeah. It means a crit success for him is a success, whereas a success would be a failure. Whereas a failure would be a critical failure, whereas a critical failure would be oh crap.
Oh god, we're all gonna die.
Oh, hey! Whatever your name is. I remember you used to, like, really abuse the shit out of me as a kid. Oh, young adult. Younger adult.
Well, you were just a little sproggling still.
Well, I mean, still kind of a little struggling, but, you know, looks like I've aged better than you have, so, hey.
Well, so you should. You've had more time to age. You've gone through probably a lifespan in the last however many days.
Yep.
Don't you only live for a season before you die off?
I mean, if Look, we're going to go come down to the City Hall later on to find out what the deal with the house is.
Yes, it should be condemned.
It should be, but isn't yet. Just been evicted.
Yes, well, it seems to be going along those lines because the roof has obviously been tampered with by someone who has no idea what they're doing with craftsmanship.
I agree. I wonder who's been in your town tampering with roofs. You should really get an investigation to make sure that no other roofs have been damaged so badly that they blow off in a small wind.
So you wouldn't have had anything to do with that small wind, would you?
I mean, I passed.
I knew that was what I used to call you as a nickname.
I mean, I passed wind when I got off the boat, but that was before the storm.
As the sole goblin in town, I'm sure it's your responsibility. Where there's a goblin, there's a way.
I'm glad you agree. So, about getting that eviction notice removed.
I see it's currently in multiple pieces right now, and stuck to someone's side. Just looking in at Parry. Parry pulled. See, part of the eviction notice got caught on him as he came in.
Who currently runs the town?
My brother.
What's his brother's name? Is it on my list?
Actually, it's Lorenza Thought is the actual person who does it, which is not her brother, but she likes to say it's her brother because, well, he works in the guardhouse.
His brother, like. And yeah, is it on
Yes,
my
but
list?
her brother doesn't actually run the guardhouse. Just is one of those people who cleans the guardhouse.
Oh, so it's Karen.
And apparently, she likes to be noticed herself by the people she knows, where they clean. She comes from a family of people who clean other people's places. Makes you think she's above goblins.
I mean, goblins don't mess up other places.
She's actually had to clean the goblin's place more than once.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go talk to your brother later. Is everyone well rested?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, we'll get out of here so you can keep condemning this. Might want to go next door and make sure that they don't need anything, tidied up after last night's storm.
Well, I was supposed to be renting that place out, and it's all damaged. I gotta go clean it again. I only cleaned it last week.
Well, at least it's something you're good at.
She was never really good at it.
Or she's better than anything else.
It's the only thing she could sort of do. She was better at berating people than she was cleaning.
So she's pretty bad at that too.
But that was her best skill, berating.
But look, we've all got 4 days ahead of us. I'm sure you do too. So we'll see you later. I guess we'll be neighbours. Isn't that going to be fun again?
Well, no, I don't live here. I just clean it. Why do I want to live next to a goblin?
Get you more work, probably.
Well, goblins have all left town, except for you. Why you come?
Beats me. I'm just here. Just my luck, really. Your luck, even.
Yeah, just my luck. Goblin returns to town and things go all crap. It's always Goblin's fault.
Yep. Speaking of, have anything else been going on in town recently?
She thinks for a moment and goes. Next door got completely soaked in the top. Just destroyed the master bedroom.
Here next door or over there next door?
Well, over there next door. The place that you got the shared the back with.
I mean, like before today, has any other odd events been happening?
Someone talked about a smudge in the sky.
Heard about that. It's up north, isn't it?
She thinks for a bit and goes, nah, can't be.
Which way is Liverpool?
North.
Right, okay.
I think you're dreaming, she says.
Alright, well, I'll tell you what. If keep an ear out, and you hear of anything odd that's been going on, like before last night, let me know, and I'm sure we can reimburse you somehow. Maybe we can come clean yours for a change.
Oh, she just laughs. Sure. That sounds like fun. Watching a goblin work for a change.
Yeah, good deal.
And
Off you go, then.
she heads off. Okay, so yes, it's morning, and you can see there's a whole lot of broken stuff downstairs.
Like,
The table's now, sort of on its side with the legs broken.
well,
got
like all
five
the
right now.
rooms and stuff are fine.
Oh no, those boxes are perfectly fine. Everyone left them alone. They just pushed the table out of the way to sleep.
And the other boxes of other goods are fine.
They're all left alone.
We know what's in them.
They're all listed as dangerous.
Everything's dangerous.
That's why your dad didn't take it.
Yeah, cool. No worries.
He thought to do the dangerous ones last.
So, what's the plan?
Well, I assume we're going to the... Well, if you want to check out the cost of this place, I assume we go to the home governor, maybe? Or the town circle?
Go to Cove Hall.
What's the governor?
Yep.
What is the governor?
Local governor. Lorenza Fort.
Yeah.
One person in charge.
You probably have the deed to this place.
You know exactly where that is. You played around it often.
Alright. You might have some information for us soon.
Go pay him a visit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Know of anything that might be happening around there?
You have no problems walking over there. It doesn't take you terribly long. You're only a couple of houses away from the town circle, which is part of. And as you see the doors open at the front, and inside you see a woman sitting at a desk going through various papers. Has a hat with a feather in it.
Switch reviews or trying.
Just goes to the context.
Not using magic.
If I'm healing someone, I'm okay. If I'm not, not guarantee it.
So,
But Parry's
lady,
break off.
Lady.
papers?
Hmm?
I'm sure Parry's reputation extends this.
No, I think it's a bit too far south.
No, it's still part of Riverfall.
South not where you go.
Hello, we're here to talk about.
She looks up and goes, "Oh, you must be one of those hotters I hear about.
Yes.
People keep trying to pay me in those paintings."
Paintings?
Yes. They try to use it to pay debts with.
Huh.
We don't accept currency in hotters.
That's okay. We're here to ask questions about the condemned house.
Which one?
The one with that used to have goblins in it.
Which one?
The one. Where was it again?
51st and 2nd.
One on 51st and 2nd.
Just looks at the goblin and says, "You obviously remember the town wrong, but I think I know which one it is from your speech. You're so much like your father.
I'll try and take that as a go.
You even look like him."
I need to get some scars.
So, that one, she flicks through a couple of pages and goes, "So, back taxes owes 5 gold.
5 gold and back taxes.
Yes.
What's the tax rate in the town?
Tax rate for the town was based on land tax.
No, sorry. That was West asking. What's like the actual tax rate for the town?
Tax rate for the town is they take in
15% of your annual income.
Oh, fuck yeah. I don't get paid. Here's $5.
Okay, so they'll lift the thing on the house.
Do you take like preemptive payments too?
We can, but we generally only ask once a year because otherwise the money might disappear in the in-between time. We are a pirate subsidiary after all.
Noted.
She actually looks like that.
Okay.
That's what she looks like.
Nice.
So you're here for reopening the old business.
No. I'm gainfully unemployed.
She just thinks for a moment and goes. And you're able to keep paying taxes. Why?
This is gainful. I will declare an income and I will pay taxes. That's 5 gold coins over what period?
Over a year.
Plus. So in 6 months, the place will owe another 5 gold.
Depends on how much income the household had registered.
How much did the household register?
The household had registered about 1,000 gold going through. Had paid the rest of the taxes, but was 5 gold short.
Right. Well, we will lodge an income at the end of the year.
Okay. Make sure you do, and the cleric of Abadar will oversee it.
Okay.
And just remember that your dad lost a finger last time he lied. So lying on a tax return to a cleric of Abadar, it can be considered a act against God.
Well, it's lucky I've got a clean slate. I've got plenty of sin to accumulate.
Don't tell me you've been to the Church of Callistra. They keep saying, does people want a clean slate?
I won't tell you that.
It's one of their most expensive services. And that's saying something, she says. The amount of services they offer. They call it their deluxe service. Guaranteed to get you out of most problems.
So, what's been going on?
Well, the goblins all packed up and left,
Mm-hmm.
which gave us a lower unemployment than expected.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't really have much in the way of unemployed, and now we have a negative unemployment. More jobs than we have people.
What needs doing?
Everything. Because there's not enough people to go around. Because, well, when in doubt, hire a goblin. It is a common saying around here. And we used to have 50 of the buggers around. Now they all went and buggered off.
You know, goblins, they're unreliable.
Oh no, they were quite reliable. That would work for pittance.
It's true. Is there anything else in the oil?
She thinks scratching her head. Well, the fog has been unusually thick, and we're getting lots of storms coming through. No one's wanted to go near your dad's house for months, since the person who invicted it got hit by lightning 3 times while putting the sign up.
Hit by lightning 3 times.
Yeah. Each hammer strike.
Try 4.
No, he didn't survive the third.
Well, you survived the first 2.
Yeah.
It's still very impressive.
People said it wouldn't happen again.
What do you mean?
Struck by lightning. It never strikes the same place twice. Except for in his case, it was 3 times.
Yeah, well, that's a myth. So,
So is he now. His tombstone says struck by lightning 3 times. So people go there to get rid of their bad luck.
I'm sure that makes sense to them.
Well, if they give a little coin to the idiot who died by lightning 3 times in the one day.
Like, they give coins, they go to his grave to get rid of their bad luck.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the fact that there wasn't even a cloud in the sky. It was a feat to be hit by lightning 3 times.
That's interesting.
I was surprised Giga didn't get hit by lightning doing the bloody roof.
Anything else? Hang on. You having memory problems? Do we need to fix your memory problems?
No, not really having a lot of memory problems. I think I've still got quite a good memory. Normally we don't need outsiders to do stuff for us.
Didn't they just say they want
Normally they don't want outsiders to do stuff for them. Well, they have goblins to do stuff for them. They don't need outsiders most of the time. It's like instead of getting the Mexican, they get the goblin.
Wow.
That's the way of thinking of things.
Wow. Right, is the governor in?
She just looks at you.
You're the
Yes.
governor. Sorry, I got cursed. I keep insulting people by accident.
So unlike you. So unlike you.
Yeah, we haven't noticed the difference yet.
So did it happen at birth?
Yeah, permanent brain damage at birth. Very curseful.
I just put in too many bounces. Tried to grab a rope that wasn't there off a 40-foot cliff.
Well, you weren't born here, that's for sure. Though it was a surprise when your dad found out he had a child somewhere. That wasn't travelling with him and hadn't already died.
I'd say that was pretty shocking.
It
I
was.
remember it.
So now that you are back in town, what would you like to do?
Are you looking at us for questions or answers? Or...
Yeah, what are we doing?
Right, okay. Thought you were checking us out for some reason.
Alright, what would you like to do?
Sorry, Governor.
1, 2, 3.
When did all these strange weather occurrences start?
Really started about a year ago, but hey, who really keeps count about these things? Weird things happen all the time.
Yes. Are there any kind of mishappenings happening more frequently throughout the city? Anyone gone missing? Anyone?
Well, that happens on a regular basis. Yeah, about at least once a week someone goes missing.
Once a week?
Even before a year ago?
Well, about a year ago, was more than once a week. It slowed down.
Huh.
It's normally outsiders. We do say to outsiders they should camp out in the woods, and then we don't have to worry about them very long afterwards.
Do you need anything
What's
to
in the
be?
woods?
I'm sure that's a good thing for you to investigate, sir.
Bring out into the woods?
I mean, I was going to camp there.
When you find out, let us know. We'd be most interested in finding out. We'll even give you a reward.
You were of the Wobberjack, so. I think you've heard of the mighty Wobberjack, haven't you?
Wubba what? That
There's
sounds like
something about
a
Wobberjack.
made-up word to me.
It's probably not going to show up here. I don't think it's really worrying about it.
Ah.
Plus, there's no real trade route except for one little board. They're pretty similar.
You hear someone outside offering free samples of his possum punch to the first person who can tell him a story he hasn't heard before.
Hey, Quest, go tell them about the Wobberjack.
Why?
Free punch.
Well,
I go out there and tell him.
you
I
guys
tell him.
So you leave the governor and go out there.
I think we discussed most things with you.
I was like, excuse me for one moment. I've got a challenge to uphold.
Okay. She watches you walk out.
Oh, please don't.
Give me a performance roll.
Performance roll?
Oh god. She's just gonna get like PTSD from this. Probably already has.
See you go.
Ooh.
Despised it. Watch you leave.
Ooh. 7.
7. He goes, yep, wasn't worth getting those pictures.
You didn't get the correct ones. Still walks out.
He hasn't been working out as often as recently.
It just doesn't move that well. Could wiggle a little more.
It can. Like I said, he just hasn't been working out as often.
Yeah, not
He's
like
been a
me
bit
and
laid
then
up.
like wow.
Shut up, Bygone.
Okay, so yes, you see a old guy with a wooden cart and what appears to be some sort of moonshine, and a little sign saying Bimmer's Possum's Punch.
Have you ever heard of the runes that no one could read?
Says, what's read?
You want to hear a story that you've never heard before?
Sure. Enlighten me with a story I have never read before.
If you can't read, then
He just looks you up and down.
yeah.
Just go ahead.
You once knew a man who had scars all over their body. When you ever tried to study them, they kept on shifting.
Are you talking about the rune scar?
Damn it. Yes, have you heard about the rune scar?
Yes. No free punch for you, sir.
No, but how? How have you learned from this?
He says, I go to things called books.
Ah, so you can read.
I'm just seeing if you could.
Mhm.
You hang out with a goblin after all.
Yeah. I mean, your
You
concept
said
was
as
punch, but what else do you want to learn?
Says, well, your standards can't be too high.
Alright. Ever heard of a lumberjack?
Yes, there's this imaginary creature that's out by this place called Absalon that they're currently doing a thesis on, he says.
Imaginary. Sorry. I wrote the book.
Oh, so you must be the quest that we're on.
Yes.
Because they said found by quest. I could never understand why they said found by quest.
Well.
Because I kept asking people what quest were they on. So you must be quest.
Yes.
He says, that doesn't really tell me much.
But you've never heard it
I have heard it before.
before.
Actually, no. Has anyone ever told it to you?
I know I read it.
So, you've never heard the story before?
No.
So, I found this mystic beast out in the outskirts of Absalon called a lumberjack.
Well, make sure you tell it properly.
Ooh.
Performance roll?
I don't really want to have to correct you on your own story.
Diplomacy? I don't know.
Fantastic beasts. Illusionary hunters. They make you question your sanity. It's kind of like being gaslit, actually.
Like quest, right?
Give me a performance roll.
There it is. Whoop, whoop.
Is it time to roll another natural 20?
Yes.
Actually, with that roll, yes.
So then, where's yours?
What?
Where's your natural 20? Everyone literally is rolling
Yes.
except for you.
It's still a 13.
Okay, so apparently you get some of the details of your own story wrong. He has to correct you 5 times.
Ooh.
And every time he corrects you with the fact, you go, oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, you're right there. Look, you're interrupting the story. Don't you know that bards lie? That's all we're good for.
Well, I'm a sage.
Ah.
I prefer facts. And he hits you over the back of the head with a arm stick.
Duel.
Sages. Alright, how much for a bottle?
Says for you, looks you up and down. A better story. And I'll give you a bottle.
Best story.
You give me a better story than the one you made up.
About what in the sky?
Here's one about the Sandpoint Devil.
How about the highlight stuff?
That would be great.
Well, tough, you're not hearing it.
Looks like no booze for you.
Dooza asks him if he knows about the Sandpoint devil.
Yes, he's heard of the Sandpoint Devil. It's a fantastic beast.
Yes.
There's another mythical beast, but less more based in reality than the Wobberjack, he says, looking at the goblin.
Are you aware that it has a kind of hunted prey trait?
Oh god, yeah. It stalks its victim for years, and then basically kills anything that it really thinks valuable.
Have you been outside of the town, my dear son?
Yeah.
You know about the rune gate?
Yeah, it's this big stupid thing sitting over a bay outside of Riddleport that no one's been able to figure out, and it's got a bunch of old geezers scratching their chins looking at it for over 300 years and not found out a single thing about it.
You know anything about it?
Yes, it's this big round.
For sure. Did you know that 4 of the runes are lit up right now?
I did not.
Here,
Here, have a free drink.
Yeah.
He heard
Yeah.
he heard 3 of them had lit up. Oh, not 4.
Dooza goes on about the Sandpoint devil and how he's been tasked with killing it by
Is-
Tifa.
Well, once you've killed it, that'll be a great story to hear.
Is there a prize for second place?
Yep. You can buy a drink.
Hey, so, Kroll. Why don't you tell him about how the wall with the goblin started?
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't think a certain someone would be impressed with that.
Yes, Crawl. How did the War of the Goblins start?
I kind of have an inkling as to how it started, but I don't particularly want to divulge that.
That doesn't sound like a
information.
great story to me, he says.
No?
Come on, your audience is waiting. This is your moment.
Yes, and as soon as the audience decides to, spread more and more information, I'm sure a certain someone who was involved will come back and haunt me for it.
Do you know the exploits of Harry?
I know of the Hodders. I've been around for a while, trying to impregnate everything that moves. Or get impregnated by anything that moves, because they did specialize in the sex change potion.
You seem to be all learned men.
Well, wouldn't you be if you've lived over 80 years?
I doubt it.
As a goblin, you can live over 80 years. It is possible.
Really? I'm sure it said in my mail that I only lived for 60.
That's general goblin lifestyle, but if you actually do something like bathing and washing hands,
Goblins in
then
captivity.
all goblins do actually learn to read and write. The more you read and write, the longer your lifespan seems to go.
I'd stop reading and writing.
Yeah, well, that's because your life sucks. Mine's pretty awesome. I suppose I'm insulting this guy too.
Yes.
He doesn't seem to care about your insults. He's heard worse.
Nice to meet someone who doesn't care about what other people think.
He's more than happy to throw insults back without worrying about a thing.
Yep, cool.
In the end, he's happy to charge you a silver for a bottle of his possum punch. Guaranteed to make your hair fall out.
That already happened.
There's no, you've got some back again.
Goblins were hairless.
They can have hair. Depends on how many things related in their ancestry.
Quest now wants to go here.
Quest does, but has never had it.
Because some of them get sprouts, or some of them get a full head. Some of them are just completely hairless. Some of them have them on their chest only. Because bugbears are in their gene pool.
Here's a silver.
He hands you a bottle.
What's in it?
He starts listing a whole bunch of ingredients that includes possum. But it has, so you think it's basically a fermented cider that in certain stages of it has a dead possum included.
Cool. Well, I know what I'm doing tonight. You're from the city?
No,
Is it town?
I moved here for a quiet life.
Have you had that?
Once I hit a few people who kept asking too many named questions in the back of the head, yes.
Has it been like more prior to this in the last 6-7 months?
Not only no, people have been coming in asking questions since the goblins disappeared, and since the blot in the sky, and since the rune started awakening, and since people started releasing devils all over the place. Yeah, or demons or whatever they are. They've been breaking seals left, right, and centre. Some idiot broke some seals in Kamagar.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Apparently they weren't that very sharp.
Well, they were one of the accursed.
What was the third thing that you just said? I forgot.
Many things, sir. Many things. You probably had too many drinks.
Yeah.
You can't hold your drinks too well.
Just the smell of it will put him down. I also buy one.
He hands you a nice bottle.
Have you been noticing anything odd?
Yes.
As of late? Other than what's in front of you right now.
Well, besides the odd people here, there was a break-in overnight. He just looks at Quest.
Yeah, no. Before last night.
Oh, before last night. Okay, so in town itself, well, someone dies about every week or so. Normally strangers. They tell strangers to sit up in the woods because it's safer for the town.
People are just constantly.
Messily, screaming.
Alright.
No one investigates.
How long's that been?
Well,
Years.
time to go investigate.
It's been going on since West lived there.
Yep. None of the locals go into the woods at night.
They die in the woods or they die in town.
If people don't die in the woods once a week, then they start dying in town.
Right.
Time to go investigate the woods.
Going in the woods to search for
This guy's gonna turn up with like white hair and 2 swords.
No, in fact, we're gonna find the bleached gnome.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, the bleached gnome's got 2 swords.
One silver, one steel.
Yeah.
Couple potions, some weird runes. Runes, that's what we're looking for.
Ah,
Right.
Crawl, you've learnt too much. Time to die.
Alright.
Okay. Give me a perception check as you start to wrap up with him.
All of us?
Yes!
Natural 20. That's loving you tonight.
Should I try a different dice or this one that's kind of been doing at least above 10?
We'll see how well it
Above 10
goes.
is a good roll.
Yeah, I know.
Ah!
No, never mind.
Natural 1.
No.
It's only a 4. It's fine.
Considering the time of night it is, I'm presuming we have rerolls.
Sure. Have a reroll.
Why not? Why not?
Jeez, you.
I hate my dice.
You should roll Josh's dice. You always roll better with his dice.
Yeah.
Does that count? Because I wasn't in my
No.
dice spell.
Better.
Slightly below average.
9.
Yes.
I think it's 9 plus 8, so be...
Whatever your perception is.
Yeah, which I think is 8. I'm not on my thing at the moment.
Yeah. What's your wisdom?
17. Sorry, I think that's good.
So how do you parry him?
21.
Yes, 9 plus
How do
8.
you quest do again?
27, natural 20.
24.
So you got the 27 upgraded.
Everyone got above 20 except for Doomsday.
8.
17.
So,
Okay.
17, that's not bad.
So, the first thing Quest notices is a bunch of the local thugs who used to beat him up and the other goblins up on a regular basis. And they were a little older. Because you remember them as teenagers. Now they're more adult-like, and they seem to be making a beat for the old guy.
They're going towards the old guy.
Interesting.
He's a pretty good with stick.
Who else notices?
And it takes until they're about halfway across the circle before the other two notice. And they belong to a local gang, known as the Horned Fangs.
Horned Fangs.
Yep.
Wow.
That was their something to do with the woods.
Okay. Are they friends of yours or enemies of yours?
He looks over and goes, "I don't really like them that much." He just ignores them.
I take it the feelings mutual.
Yeah. No idea what they want.
Do you want us to leave them to it, or would you like to stick around?
I'll just make them go away. I don't really care much about them, he says, ignoring them completely.
Okay.
Okay.
Quest is good. Make an impression.
I was considering actually just standing by.
Okay, you see them sort of moving towards the cart with rolling up their sleeves.
Rolling up the sleeves isn't actually as threatening as it is.
That they stop and look at you.
Hi.
No.
Oh, look, a goblin that talks.
Well, look, a human that talks.
No.
I thought you'd like that.
Yep.
Hey, look at all the tough jokes.
Doozy, you got it wrong. Hey, look, a fence person.
Ah, yes. They're a bit short, aren't they?
So, I see you've hired up some bodyguard.
Hired? No. I got hired.
Meet brains, brawn, and entertainment.
So you're here to entertain us.
Not you, them.
They look confused. Well, then get our way entertainment. You can entertain
Oh.
others.
No.
Man, did
I get entertained by getting beaten up. Don't you know? Surely you
And-
know, you remember, yeah?
How do you look confused at that? Does something as simple as that confuse you guys?
Oh!
They look confused at you. Huh?
Shall I introduce our healer, the deadliest shot in the west?
Dudes, like I said, fence posts that talk.
Hey, Quest, you want to bounce?
Like about these guys,
Shall I bounce you into them?
I guess. Basketball.
Yeah.
For all
Tie it around Deuce's wrist.
Look, it's Quest the yo-yo. Around the world. Whack.
And as they're about to do that, you see a bunch of people wearing brightly coloured clothing coming towards the thugs.
Oh, boo. Looks like our fun's about to be
Look,
ruined.
it's the oldest trick in the book.
They look.
Who are the guys in the brightly colored clothing?
They're probably guards.
You've never seen them before, or their clothing. They're new.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you.
I presume brightly coloured clothing means they're important.
Well,
Brightly colored clothing. To get our attention.
I don't know.
What'd you get?
One.
Natural one. Make it up.
Well,
Here we go again.
I mean,
Here comes volume 2 of the Wobberjack.
historically, people who can't afford the same colour clothes all over are just really poor. So they must just be like farmers or something.
Okay, and you get this bunch of people standing the other side of you, all dressed in many-colored clothing. Just coughing. No. We can afford decent clothes, Goblin.
You just
Excuse,
choose not to.
excuse my.
I can respect that.
We are the Order of Resplendence, thank you.
The order of what?
Splendence. Not with that color clothing, you know.
Can you pronounce that many words?
I think you've got Quest, and I think you've also got the group of thugs over here who are probably very lost at this stage.
That they are sort of looking a bit confused,
I get it.
looking between themselves.
As a goblin,
I'll pat one of them on the shoulder.
Mm.
It's a battle of wits, and you're not winning.
I see you've come armed.
They go, what?
I suggest you walk away now.
I walk away from nothing. Ugh.
Okay.
Are you
Bonk with my staff.
No. Before he does that, he's like trying to be all muscly,
Yep.
right?
Performance roll.
You look pathetic.
Natural one.
No.
Take it.
Two.
Take it. It's so funny.
Take
it.
Fine. It's actually not all that terrible with my stats.
The performance.
This
Yeah.
Ooh. What was it?
A 2, I believe.
Yeah, it was a
It
2.
was 2
It was
plus
a 2.
3, so it's 5.
Okay, so there's this sound that you think normally only comes from Poppy, as you see Doomsday do these, and then all the clothes just rip down all the different seams, and you get this really bad wind sound comes.
Oh.
That just completely take everyone off guard. What has Doomsday been eating?
Oh.
Quickly, let's stop fighting and all laugh at the orc.
Most of them are going, oh, my eyes are watering.
Actually,
Smell my
while
coat.
they're distracted, I'm gonna get the guy who flexed. Just grab his head and just waft it around, do his rear end.
He starts gagging. And passes out.
Anyone else up for a sniff? Or do you want to go away?
He beat up our leader, get him!
Hey, just before you get us, I'd like to point out that if you come at us, you're walking away from them.
Get them as well!
How many of them are there?
About 6,
About 6.
besides the one on the ground. And the Order
I
of
mean-
Resplendence is about 4 of those.
I mean, if that's your leader, do you really want to follow suit?
Okay, I give everyone a perception roll.
Oi!
Oh, here you go.
Seriously, him?
Come on.
Where's my pets? Is that what M's doing at the moment?
I
No.
love the same role on both sides of me. I got worse.
This moonshine is so strong that it's inebriating us by just.
I haven't had
feeding us
any.
a ton- No. The smell
In
of
the
it.
sealed bottle.
The smell of the sealed bottle is inebriating.
No. It's not the moonshine. It's your performance.
So the two of you notice another group of people showing up. Another group of thugs who call themselves the Road Keepers.
The rogue keepers.
Road Keepers.
Road keepers.
Trying to intimidate the other two groups, including you guys.
This town isn't big enough for this many gangs of thieves.
Can I walk back into the governor's office?
And in the middle of all that, Kroll, which you don't notice, but Kroll's the only one who notices, sees a ghostly apparition appear between everyone, sticking its hands out, going, "No, my cove, no!" And then everyone gets to make a will save.
No, man.
What?
No, my cove, no.
No, my code. No.
My code.
Just quickly.
Was it?
Is this an
Will save.
auditory or a visual effect?
Auditory.
I'm going to roll counter performance and burn a focus point. So I
I get to make my saving throw,
There's a gas there as well.
which is a will save is 17.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get to make a performance roll. And I'm just gonna like shred down the chords of the banjo. And everybody gets to take a 27 if they choose to.
Oh, so is this to count the?
So it's instead of taking whatever you roll as your saving throw, you could take the counter performance
Oh,
roll.
cool.
Though you should say until you tell them what it is, they could take yours instead of what they rolled. with an unknown what you rolled.
That'd
I
be.
will remember that for the future.
Oh, it's better that way, because
Or
those
would you
things.
like me to re-roll it and tell them?
Well, why don't you re-roll it and then leave the thing on top of it,
Yeah,
and,
that'd be.
and then they can take what he rolled or take yours, without knowing what he rolled. Because if his is worse, you get that one. If you take that one. So you happy with yours?
No, I rolled badly. I'm gonna take that one.
Mine's alright, so I might keep mine.
Okay. So what did you get, Kroll? Oh, sorry. Oh, what did you get?
21.
21. And what did you get?
19.
19. Okay, so apparently
what
you
it-
failed. So moving on to seeing what our
Yes, I like to
amazing
take my
bird
counter
got.
performance roll.
You rolled worse than me.
14.
Oh.
Okay, so apparently the only one left standing is as everyone else starts running away in fear.
Oh, sure.
As Parry is the one standing next to the sage, as the rest of the town square runs away in fear from some sort of wailing happening right next to you.
Yikes.
Do you know who that is?
You hear the wailing, you didn't see the ghost.
Oh, we just heard wailing, we didn't see it.
Kroll was the only
Oh,
one
I
who
saw
saw
it,
it.
but I couldn't tell you because I was too scared.
As a bunch of guards show up going, what happened? I heard there was a disturbance, and everyone else is, buggered off by this stage.
Except for the unconscious person who's.
Oh, him. Just picks him up by the foot and drags him.
So I missed that save by 1 point.
Was
Yep.
there any bounty on him?
He says, sure. The bounty is, he thinks, I'll get you a drink next time I see you in the tavern.
Done deal.
And he hears tum, 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 as he drags him off.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke.
No cobblestones. It's his heel. It's his heel.
He's clipping him with his heel. He's clipping him with a backstride. Like I said, couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Okay, so about 10 minutes later, you recover.
Wow, 10 minutes of running. Jeez.
Probably got some good exercise.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it does
but-
say this to me as well. Jesus.
Wow, what is that smell?
You know exactly what it was. It was the fear effect of a ghost.
10 minutes, wow. Okay.
It basically made you run.
DC 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed out by 1 point.
Yeah, I'll look at that.
You wanted to be all smart about it. Like, I don't know what I rolled. I'm going to take what I rolled.
I knew what I rolled the first time. It was too bad.
It was better though, wasn't it? Oh, was it? What was it?
Natural one.
Oh, no, but I think what I rolled originally was better like 2 points.
Oh.
No, it still would have failed.
Yeah.
So yes, you recover and come back and find Parry having a long conversation about the theory of magic.
Sure. Yeah. With the sage?
He keeps pointing out flaws in your theories.
My theories.
What was your thesis?
I think it was like focusing on like the plot, I think.
And,
I think that was my main focus.
and apparently he read your thesis you put in originally for the Ciphers Guild and points out the fundamental flaws in your thinking.
The Cypher's Guild.
Yeah.
Huh.
At the Cipher Lodge.
How do you access your thesis?
Listen, this guy's pretty wise, so.
Why? He sounds like he's stealing information for things that he shouldn't be.
I mean, anyone would tell you anything with the amount of booze that this guy's carrying.
That's true.
And he sells it dirt cheap.
Exactly. So it's not the fact that he's gotten into places; he's just sold cheap booze.
I was gonna get some drinks and dry myself off after running for 10 minutes. Did anyone else notice the weird ghostly thing before we all ran away in fear?
I just heard the screams.
He sort of looked like that.
I'll describe that.
Do you know anything of that, Mr. Sage?
So, describe it.
Well, that's it. That sounds like the founder of Roderic's Cove.
Rodric's
The
Cove.
description is, but let's use diplomacy.
I thought
So that's
Rodric's
an
Cove for
18
me.
to describe it.
Well, this is
He looks around going, I'd say less than a step.
okay.
You found it. Congratulations.
Beautiful.
You obviously drank too little.
You don't have any to drink yet.
That's what you can't say he's drunk too much.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
You would have said he's drunk too much otherwise, but he didn't say he's drunk too little.
I've still got his thing.
It screams something like, not the Cove or something? Cove, not the
No.
kid.
Everyone heard the scream.
Oh, we all heard that scream?
Yeah, we all heard the scream. You guys decided to run away from the scream.
And it was right in the middle of when everyone was about to, beat up on everyone else.
Yeah, it was some weird ghostly thingy.
So this
I
guy's
wonder if we
trying
can
to
make that
protect
happen
his
again.
cove?
Well,
I mean, I
he
know-
was the person who founded the Cove.
But he said, no, not my cove.
Does that happen often?
First time for me. And he said, no, my Cove, no.
No, my cove, no, sorry.
That's okay. You were looking a little ill at the smell of alcohol at the time.
I don't think it was alcohol.
Oh yeah, it was your friend, and they're flexing.
Yeah.
You might want to see a doctor about that.
Kroll, you're up.
I'm a medic nor a dietitian.
I don't think it's due
So
to
what,
his
you don't
diet.
take
I
a
think
long
something died
approach?
inside him.
It might have been someone he ate.
That's entirely possible. I'm not responsible for Dooz's diet.
Something died inside a doozer. I vote
Diet.
Cu-
Not
I-
diet.
I vote cutting doozer open to see what's inside.
I disagree with that, but you can lodge a complaint with the Pathfinders.
Is this a democracy?
No, just me trying to
I
save
will
the
lodge a
Pathfinder.
complaint with whoever gave you your registration.
Oof. Ouch, that hurts. You're not getting healed anytime soon.
I point out with my thin stature, I don't think I really needed that much healing.
That's fine. We'll wait till you're bleeding out and I'll go, breathe now, bitch.
Or wait until you're bleeding out and goes, yeah, you dropped first.
According to certain documentation, I'm not the hero of the group anyway, it's me.
I slipped dues of 3 gold. 3 gold on me, from him dropping before me.
Apparently, there's a bet going.
Do we have
Alright.
books open? Alright, if that's the case. I put 5 silver on Willie dropping before Kroll.
I'll pay that one.
So you don't believe Willie will undrop before Kroll? So if Willie drops before Kroll,
she's seconding the bet.
I'm seconding the bet.
you're backing that one as well?
Yeah, so Willie will drop before Kroll, but I'm saying.
So who's gonna back that bet?
But my
Well,
bet
it's
is that
out of
Kroll will
gold.
drop before me. It's funny because Parry's absolutely ate shit.
Ah, it's funny, because Chris is gonna make sure.
No.
Oh no.
What?
This is gonna be great.
You heard nothing.
Uh-huh.
Magic fixes everything. Bardic magic, I'm sure, will help. Here, let me just, hinder your next action.
Am I able
Your
to-
saving throw. Why?
Was this like
no
no
reason.
my inspire competence?
Yes, it's called Inspire Failure.
It's okay, I don't know that spell yet.
Okay, good.
Okay, so as you're finally recovering from stuff, you see a morose elf come your direction.
What?
Morose-looking elf.
I'll greet them in Elven.
Oh, I thought you said morose. I'm like, dude, that elf is so intoxicated.
So she looks like that.
Oh.
Yep, I'll greet
You say morose like they're trudging?
Yeah.
Trudging? Yeah, trudging condition. I take it they're fully clothed though.
They are fully clothed, yes.
Not for long.
So says Parry.
Hang on. I think we can just force this bit to win.
Goes, oh, Quest, I see you're back again. Been a while since I've seen you. Why'd you disappear?
I'd love to tell you.
Okay,
I don't remember.
that's not really telling me.
No, like, I'd love to tell you,
Okay,
but I can't. I don't remember.
well, it's not really telling me.
I know it's not telling you, but I don't know.
Then why would you love to tell me if you can't remember?
Because I'd love to know. To tell you, I'd have to know. And if I knew, I'd remember.
You'd be better off saying it that way. The other way just sounds like you're teasing me. Again.
Wolf.
What did I do to this poor elf?
Whatever.
She's one of the few people in town who'd actually listen to whatever you said.
Because I have plenty of stories to tell.
Yep.
Right.
So one of the few friends you had in town, even though she was an elf.
Look, I'm very sorry for how I behaved when I was younger,
No, I enjoyed your conversations.
even though I was teasing you.
Were you teasing me? I couldn't tell. I just enjoyed your conversations.
Well, not deliberately.
In that case, I don't mind. Forgiven.
Thank you, it's very understanding. So, how have you been?
She sighs. Usual.
Morose?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, let me introduce you to my friends. This is Dooza.
She looks you up and down. And sighs.
This is Kroll.
Glances at you and goes, oh, one of them.
He's okay. And may I introduce you to my esteemed colleague, Wizard of the Cipher Mage Guild, Parry. Parry
Looks at
Otter.
him. I've seen pictures of you.
I bet you have.
There's been
She just sighs.
Why are you so upset?
She just looks at you.
What's that?
Why?
elf's name
Why did
who,
I get a
uh,
sigh? What have I done to you?
Shailu?
Shailu.
It's just so short-lived.
I feel like she would know Shailu.
What was that?
You'll be dead before I even notice.
Oh right, you're an elf.
Yes.
Hi, Elf.
You sound like Shalelu. Though she warmed up eventually.
Hardly.
I was about to say that's completely incorrect.
Well, she warmed up to me. So Jews are things anyway.
I tolerated you.
Not that I know of.
Cool.
What does she look like?
How to describe Shailu?
Also like an elf.
Yes, but with more ferocious looking.
Like an elf, but fierce. And, you know, like...
Also muscle-like. Or pretty like
Almost like in between.
Yeah,
muscle and pretty.
Not so much muscly, but, like, if you could use the muscle without having it.
Oh.
Like a buff elf.
She just looks and just sighs. Sir, would you like to talk over dinner?
Like to
Date.
eat dinner. But, sure, why don't you come round to our house for dinner?
I have a table at the Creekside Inn. They make food.
I suppose there's probably a better option.
I prefer eating food. I've been to your place.
I'll try not to take those insult.
Your dad couldn't cook.
Yes, well, he definitely can't do anything better now.
I hear he's dead.
Not quite dead.
Reanimated, he's still dead.
Oh, I'm dead.
Well, he's left his body and he's not operating it anymore.
Yes.
And that's the definition of dead.
So his cooking's probably improved, really.
I don't think you cook when you're undead in a spirit. Makes it, well, kind of gotten better. No hands to cook with.
I mean, I'm sort of spiritual food is better than regular food. Otherwise, why would we die?
Spiritual nourishment, I'm sure, is completely different to physical nourishment, but I'm looking for physical nourishment.
Well, I guess we'll need to add bricks.
She points to the building. That one over there?
Yes, that one.
Yes. I'm sure you haven't forgotten where it is. Over there.
He might lose his way there. Do you want to hold his hand and take him there? Because he might get lost on the way.
It's still mid-morning.
If I have to, she says.
I think you might have to.
Or we'll have lunch and just talk and catch up. It's been years. At least 4.
At least 4. Although, I don't think I've been here for the last
So you
5.
do look a little bit younger than I last saw you.
Ooh. Just sinew skin.
Yes, well, I got a clean slate,
Oh, one of those.
unfortunately.
So, second life.
Yes. Let's not bring that up. I'll start sounding like you.
What's wrong with my eye sound?
I was about to say, there's nothing wrong with this. This
I'm
poor
trying to be
lady.
more upbeat.
By insulting him.
Okay.
What
Well,
is
I
that
haven't
you
made the roll,
so
so I'm just role playing as if I hadn't made the roll.
Yep.
Life.
What has happened in your life to get you so down?
Well, talk over dinner. Probably take us that long to get to what I did over life.
So
You are such
we'll start
short-lived.
at lunch and then
Oh,
we'll get
hang
to
on,
dinner.
hang on. No, I've got stuff I need to do. If we're going to be talking all day, I do need to go off and do that first.
Well, I am over 300 years old.
Sounds like you have time to spare.
Plenty. So who wants to have lunch while you go off and do your stuff?
I'll have lunch.
And we'll still be having dinner and explaining and talking.
Prairie's interested. There's lots of knowledge here.
So it's like 10 o'clock.
It's about probably closer to about 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, cool.
You got up at sunrise.
Definitely. I'm going to go off and do the things I need to do today. But you two have a wonderful lunch. Doomsday Kroll, why don't you accompany me? No, accompany me.
No, I was going to go with you anyway.
That's fine. I just need to ask the governor. Before we head off.
So she sighs and says,
No, I just don't want to hear about the life things of
Oh, no, hang on. Harry. Take me aside. Just make sure you go down and what Kroll does.
Okay.
I don't do that with every elf.
No, I've just got a bet going that he's going to go down before you do.
didn't say down on what?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Reverse psychology.
Okay, so you end up in the tavern and start having a long meal and talking about growing up amongst humans who died before you finish going out of infancy, and then being brought up by their grandchildren while you're going through your puberty, and them dying before you finish puberty. And constantly everyone around you dying of old age before you even pass age brackets. And basically talking about the people who babysat you for more than a lifetime.
That is very unfortunate.
You find out she grew up away from elves.
Away from elves.
Most of the elves who grew up away from their civilization end up depressed, which is a common thing in this setting.
Not so much depressed, but definitely grown up a bit weirder than the other elves.
So that these ones grow up with the whole life is sad, everyone dies, because they don't know anyone over more than 50 years normally. Everyone who they know has died. Anyone they're close to has died.
Yeah.
And so they have a hard time making any sort of attachment or stuff after having their heart broken year after year after year.
Am I the oldest one here?
Feeling a pain, I give her a big hug. definitely need to make this.
Fetus size.
Yeah.
And just you just have this whole long story happening. And I'll save off the actual thing that they're going to talk to you about until next session when we have Peter available to join in, because he might show up at that point.
Catching the next bird after his hands are fixed.
Because it would be about that time. So have you played the Kingmaker computer game? Okay. There is a cleric in there who follows a doom and gloom sort of goddess. Well, and he always says, woe is mine. Does it really matter? So he has that sort of same.
Eeyore the elf.
That's pretty much what she's like. Eeyore the elf.
What does it matter?
It's been like what?
It
4
won't
years
be
since we
fun.
left
It has, yes.
the
Oh,
training.
we're third level.
So how many d20s do you have, Em?
One training.
I have 6.
You left it.
And how many
just
have ended
over
up
a
in
year
dice
ago.
the other day?
Because at third level, it starts a year
4?
after you left training.
It was more last week.
So
I have 5
3 years
lined
of
up on my,
Pathfinder training.
But
Plus
that's
a year for sales.
Ever
A year for your
think there's a
graduation
reason why your dice
and
don't like you?
starting your work
Well, because I got too
in
many.
Varisia.
No.
No, because I was cursing
4
them out.
years.
Yeah, because you roll them once,
Yeah.
realize you got a
That
low
means
number,
I've
and then
already
just immediately
rolled
chop them to the side.
I didn't immediately shove half of them to the
How old
side.
is Harry?
Well,
How old is Harry?
Harry's 18.
Wow, you're a baby.
Human, 18.
He's from the mother's
No, Elvin 18.
yeah, elven 18.
Elven
She is.
So mother was an elf.
Mother was an elf, father was a gift.
Yeah, which means that you'd be 118 sort of thing, maybe.
Yeah, in that bracket. So you're about the same age as me.
No, definitely not human
Choose
18.
up.
Let me have a look at my. No, I don't
It's-
think I've given myself an
that-
age.
That last performance was actually due to going through like a midlife crisis.
So
What? How old do? I guess because I'm
well,
human
if
half,
you're
so-
human mother, then you lived roughly to about 80 years, and you would have turned an adult around 15, 16.
Yeah, so because I'm human, I'd probably be closer to like a human age of like the same as you, like 17, 18.
You young whippersnappers.
Okay, so put this to end credits.
After I change my diaper.
What are you saying, Gramps?
Yeah.
Sorry, hang on.
So he'll
What are you
look.
saying, Gramps?
So he'll look like he hasn't changed at all in age, as everyone ages out.
Yep.
Whereas
Yeah.
Stefan's character will not change even when he ages, no matter how old he
He'll just
gets.
bleach.
He'll either bleach or he'll stay the same color, which is amusing.
And thus ends the fellowship.